Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
From the Xfinity studio. Well, good morning. Happy Monday at the July 4th weekend. What a banner 2026 July 4th was. An incredible weekend in Philadelphia. All kinds of craziness, celebrations, fireworks, and the teams all conspired to break some news, big news. And tonight, USA plays Belgium as the knockout round continues. So we got so much to get to. This has been an awesome weekend. Our girl Meg is here with us, the queen of soccer in Philadelphia. She's going to join us today. We got all kinds of things to go. So let's recap. So Jaylen Brown is a Sixer, like we celebrated on Thursday. The greatest thing is that he's on Twitch and he gets Tyrese Maxey. And Jaylen Brown says, "Young killer. What's up, young killer? Let's get to work. I'm a fan of your game." It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And Mike Gansey did not stop there. Anthony Simons is a great signing. An absolute great signing. Another guy that can actually fill it off the bench. Fits a perfect role here. I love the Simons signing. I mean, he's put together a terrific team. And now we wait for LBJ and whether or not LeBron will be here. I still think it's a very real possibility. And I think it makes the most sense. Listen, from a story standpoint, his own story, going back to Cleveland is probably the perfect storybook ending, right? To the kid from Ohio who brings the championship to Cleveland, then leaves, and it probably should end with him coming back and finishing in Cleveland. Like, that's the story, right? That's how you tell a story. But if LeBron is about winning and about ending with a different chapter and adding perhaps another title, I think Philadelphia makes perfect sense for him. Think about it. There's a gaping hole at the 4. Right now it's occupied by Dean Wade. LeBron could come in, pushes Dean Wade to the bench, and LeBron comes in and doesn't have to worry about carrying the scoring load. You got Jaylen Brown, you got Maxey. All he's got to do is provide the leadership and have all that for you, right? Like all that winning DNA. That's what the Sixers have lacked. So, and then you could bring a title to a town that hasn't had a title since 1983. And it's a historic franchise. So it makes a lot of sense from the Sixers. I think it's one of the two. I don't think it's Miami. I think it's either going to be Cleveland or here, which would be fantastic. The Flyers make huge news. They go, all right, listen, we got to do something. Not a lot of guys are out there. We got all the cap space in the world. We got all kinds of flexibility. And they were not to be outdone by anyone else. They signed Leo Carlsson to that incredible offer sheet. Anaheim has till Friday to match. So we'll see whether or not Anaheim was going to match this huge deal, which would send 4 first-round picks to Anaheim to get Leo Carlsson, who, listen, it's what they need, right? Like they need power up the middle. And with Carlsson, you get power up the middle. You get talent up the middle, which is what you need. So we wait to see what happens on Friday and whether or not Anaheim will match the deal for Leo Carlsson. So Flyers in action. We'll talk to Charlie O a little bit. We'll talk to Kyle a little bit. Also, Phil's 5 All-Stars. So there you have it. Marsh is in. Schwarber's in. Harper's a legend. Harper deserved to be in the All-Star game. This nonsense that, it's a legend. He deserved to be in the All-Star. He's having an All-Star year. I don't understand all the stuff. Sanchez and Duran. My boy Zack, not an All-Star, though. He could be named depending on the pitching rotation and how it goes. He should. I'm expecting him to be named. You got to have Wheeler on there. I mean, their whole turnaround coincided with Zach Wheeler coming back early from losing the rib, right? Like, he's had a terrific year. So we'll wait for that. And then Team USA tonight against Belgium. Awesome stuff over the weekend. We had the link on Saturday. It was a spectacle with France and Paraguay and the whole thing. Last night's game against England, Mexico was unbelievable. It was one of the great sporting events that you'll ever see where, England, pops 2 goals. Jude scores twice. And then Mexico comes right before the half. Then England scores on a penalty shot or a penalty kick. And then they got to play with 10 guys. Mexico gets a penalty kick, thanks to Harry Kane. It's 3-2, and it's white knuckle for the last 20 minutes of the game. It was, really awesome. Really great stuff. So we'll see. USA beats Belgium tonight. Let's go. They're an older team. Balogun's playing. Let's see. Should be a lot of fun. And we do have the Queen of Soccer. Good morning, Meg. Good morning, VG.
Good morning, Anthony.
What a weekend.
What a weekend.
Wild. It's all weekend, nonstop.
I know.
It's great.
Unbelievable.
Everything's been kind of good news.
All good news.
Yeah.
It's quite a 2-week block in the middle of summer before the Eagles even come back on the scene.
It made me feel good.
The who?
The
who? Man, you just glossed over. Nola's back. Pitched a gem yesterday. 7 strong.
Bullpen.
He's such a, all the news that's going on, he goes there. He ripped the guy for the last 3 months. You're the worst. We're 8 minutes into the show and you're already annoyed.
Well, you glossed over all the good stuff of the weekend. I mean, you went over it all and then you glossed over Aaron Nola. That's all. Get Nola's flowers.
So, Meg,
a nice day.
Let's have a conversation.
Okay.
First of all, you were there Saturday.
Yes.
As Philadelphia celebrated 250 and the link. It was just spectacular.
It was an amazing sight. And I will say, kudos to FIFA that the pregame ceremony for July 4th, the 250th in Philadelphia, exceeded my expectations. It was beautiful. It was a real moment, and it really felt celebratory. And I think that the crowd, it was rousing. It was a great way to cap our 6 matches here to close on July 4th. I think we all would have loved maybe one more match.
Right.
One more.
Yeah, can we
But,
can we call FIFA and make a call?
No, we're not calling.
We deserve one more.
No calls into FIFA. I think they've got.
I hear they're answering the phones these days.
Yeah, we're gonna let that sit, BG. But I will not be calling.
All right.
But I think it was a really great way for us to end it was a great way for us to end the match schedule, and it's been a wonderful run thus far. Obviously, FanFest's still open. Everybody come out for U.S. men's national team tonight, and of course, it's the matches the last few days have just been awesome, especially yesterday.
Yeah, that was unreal. Both games, right?
Brazil-Norway was.
You got my favorite player, Holland.
That second goal.
It was ridiculous.
Was sick.
Yeah.
The a stunning goal.
I mean, he's just outrageous.
He is.
He just comes up. He just is such a star.
Yeah.
He's such a football player.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is. And that's why I know you love him.
I do.
I know.
That's exactly
he,
why.
you. He's also,
Reminds me of George Kittle.
He absolutely would be a great tight end, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what his hands are like, but he's built that way. But he's just a really special to watch. And, watching the game yesterday, you see him and he's like, we're like, when's he just gonna, when is he just gonna appear? And then, the first goal is the beautiful header. And then the second goal is, he iced
Wicked shot
right between the legs. It was beautiful to watch.
Well, you know what's crazy is that Brazil, you want to talk about horrible coaching.
Yeah.
I mean,
they didn't look good against Japan.
But why would you want to counterattack Norway when you have all that ability? And then they get a penalty kick, and they don't use Vinny Jr., their best player.
It was
what? Like what? Like why would you use her? That kid's unbelievable. He's a magician, and you don't use him.
I don't understand it. I had stuff riding on that. I was like, what is going on? Obviously, you're going to have Vinny Jr. take it. Who else? If you watch Brazil play, Vinny Jr. is your guy right now.
I mean, they gave Neymar the at the end just to give him a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a charity thing.
Right.
But why do you not give Vinny Jr. the kick?
Yeah. I have no idea. It's a terrible decision.
Yeah, and even their style of play, they didn't. I love sports because I like the reason why I love this is that I'm getting into the strategy of it. So the idea of how you match up and everything else. Mm-hmm. I don't get how you just turtle up and you're Brazil.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to watch the end of that match. Like
that's what Norway wanted to do. Norway wanted to kill clock,
and they did.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, and to your point about the managerial, I think you could see for Brazil. I think they've made the round of 16, over and over, but they haven't broken through in the last, four World Cup, sequences. They haven't gotten through to that quarterfinal. And they're at an end of a generation of players, right?
Yeah.
And so it was interesting. I mean, to choose Neymar to do that in that moment, right? I mean, it just when you have Vinny, it didn't make any sense. I
don't understand it. I don't get it. And who's the first guy they chose? Bruno?
No, began with a C.
Yeah.
I mean,
it didn't make any sense.
I didn't get it.
No.
I didn't understand.
Norwegian goalie had a nice game too. Made a couple of nice saves.
Great saves. I mean, the last night was ridiculous. In a rainstorm?
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
The Azteca?
The
Azteca was rocking. And the Brits.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I mean, they really held Harry Kane. I mean, what is so interesting is to see, again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, this has been the stars. The stars have come out. This has not been a tournament where you've seen a breakout star, where you've seen somebody that wasn't expected to be great. I mean, there's been great performances, but everyone who was supposed to be great has been absolutely great.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean, Ronaldo's been okay, but
he's
like 40, whatever.
He's 41.
Yeah,
he finally announced that this is the last, last tournament, and even still, when he had that first horrible match.
Pop Baby's been ridiculous.
Right? He came back with that 2-goal performance. I think the ride ends tonight for Portugal and for Ronaldo because I think Spain is just a superior team. Mm-hmm. That's my expectation, but it's still going to be a good match. And I think that when you do see these superstars who are playing, I think not to segue into kind of the U.S. men's national news, it is one of the reasons that while it's going to be highly controversial and litigated, it may not be a done deal if the Belgians.
Balogun, let's go. Balogun gets suspended. It was a bad call. They went to VAR and they changed it from a yellow to a red, right? So it's a bad call. Then USA men's soccer lodges the complaint. Right. The president calls, it's a whole big thing. FIFA, which has no appeal process, how does that happen?
There are so many problems. As I said to you before we came on air, this is bad call that was exacerbated by the misuse of technology. That is, that there is no. Then I identifies that there's no appeals process for this, and so while Flo Balogun playing tonight might be the right outcome, it is going to be the process by which this happened is where the challenge.
It's horrible
is gonna
optics.
Be. It's horrible optics for the sport. It's horrible optics for and it also, there's some juxtapositions here in terms of the fact that Ronaldo, who we just were talking about, was supposed to have a 3-game suspension that was lifted into a 1-game suspension with the with the probationary period so that he could play in this World Cup in the group stage, right? So there's a lot of, I would say that the lack of processes, regardless of how many articles, 27, 24, 10.2, whatever, like too many articles, not enough just clear process.
Belgium came out firing with article after article, being like,
Absolutely.
yo, this is not acceptable according to this article.
Belgium.
And this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And hard red or soft red.
Right.
You
Fried
have,
babies.
You've got Sepp Blatter commenting
Yeah.
on like this is about the the protection of the sport. Two things can be true, right? Flo Balogun should be playing tonight for the U.S. men's national team because you want your best players to be playing. And as I said to you, I think one of the things that we while there's all of this chatter and all of this debate raging, specifically on Twitter, I think what we can all agree on is that the U.S. men's national team itself and Flo Balogun himself have comported themselves.
Oh, they've been
incredibly
awesome.
well
Yeah,
during this,
incredible.
right?
They didn't cry at all,
No.
even though it was bad call. It was
Yeah.
the whole thing. They were great. I don't understand why in that sport you should just go, hey, there's no suspensions.
Right.
Like, barring, like something that is so egregious,
Right.
you don't get suspended.
Right.
Like, that's just, nobody wants to, you shouldn't lose a player because they get a red card.
You should lose. You lose them for the rest of the game, and then the next game makes no sense.
You watched England.
it's
I mean,
hard.
Unless like you're punching someone in the face or
No,
something
it's
egregious.
egregious. It's
Yeah.
like the whole thing's egregious.
well, absolutely. And look, the tension that happens. I mean, you watched it last night with England playing a 10, right? For that 35 minutes. U.S. men's national team played 35 minutes without Balogun on Wednesday.
yeah.
It was tense.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you feel that. I mean, that is a pain point because you have to change the entire approach to the game.
Well,
The
the other
entire
team's got a power play, basically.
Right,
It's crazy.
exactly.
For the whole game.
Right.
It's
You've got to
crazy.
play it,
I don't understand how they litigate that. They're
Right.
crazy.
So I think there's going to be a lot more about this. I think I saw some breaking news that the Belgians have been granted the right to appeal. I don't know what that.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What does
'Cause they
that mean? Because we've already established that there isn't an appeals process. So which article is being triggered for this? What's the time frame on that? This game is tonight. It is at 8 p.m. in Seattle. So or 8 p.m. here, 5 p.m. in Seattle, and there's the time. The clock is ticking. So we'll see what happens.
They're weak. First of all, you should not cry about. You should if I was Belgium, I would say God, let them play, man.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Belgium on paper is the best team that the U.S. men's national
Right.
team will have played.
And they were
Right.
crying about it.
And that's the part, well, I mean, first off, if you've
Can't
ever
stand
wanted
it.
to lean into
Lukaku.
Dude,
Lukaku.
be real though. If this was held in Belgium
yeah.
and it was reversed,
Belgian
the Belgian
sympathizer.
government is reaching out to
Belgium.
FIFA.
Absolutely.
No, they're crybabies. No, if you're great crybabies.
You'd be flipping out.
No, I would not. No, in fact, I would have it say, bring it on.
No, you respect.
Bring it
you
on.
respect one boss calling another boss and getting a favor.
Yeah.
No,
I love it. And I would say, if I was Belgium, bring it on, man. Let it play. I want him to play. That's how I would
That's what they
approach it.
should do.
Instead of a whiny, ridiculous, soft way to approach it.
Well, you're a football guy with 2 O's.
But look, it's whatever happens. I do think, though, the match is better because Balogun plays. And I agree with you. Like, I think that if I were the Belgian national team, I don't know that I would have come out as strong on that because you want to be able to say, like, we'll play their best and we'll win. Right, like that's how you want.
Right,
That's
like
how you want to approach.
you're supposed to be one of these, European older soccer.
The blue bloods.
Right, and why you're afraid? You crying?
Right.
Weak.
Well, I
Oh, I hate them.
I'm
I'm done with all Belgian beer
Nah,
and
you're
waffles.
not. You're ridiculous. Get
out.
out of here.
I'm out.
You're out.
I'm out on anything Belgian.
right.
Somebody bring a Duvel up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm spiking.
Please.
Out on Belgium.
But it'll be a great match. It'll be a great match, and there'll be plenty of social content to keep us all occupied for the day.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. All right, let's get to. Oh my God, can I just tell you?
Where do you want to
I'm
start?
over the moon with the Flyers and Sixers right now. All right, so the Sixers. So Jaylen Brown is a wackadoo, and I love him. I love him. Love him. He's doing his stream, and he's trying to process it, and then he's got Maxey on, and it was the greatest, right? And then he goes, "What's up, young killer?" I was loving it. 'Cause I'm a fan of your game.
The video you're like watching Twitch streams is like over and over again. Like, how did you spend your July 4th weekend? Just hitting replay on this Twitch stream.
That's it.
That's
It's
it.
like a ridiculous. He's just calling
Happy
people.
birthday, America.
Just
I
calling
love
people
it.
and saying nothing. What's up? And then he's like, "Yo, this is JB." Tyrese's like, "Yeah, I know. I got your number." It's just like, he calls VJ. It's like, "What's up?" He's like, "All right, what's up?"
Yeah. How you doing?
They talk for like 12 seconds. It's like, "All right, let's get to work."
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Maxey's like, "Well, just hit me up. I'm in the gym all the time. Hit me up whenever."
Yeah,
Ready
he's
to
the
go.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young killer. He's a young killer.
Yeah.
He's my man.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I love the whole roster. Mike Gansey.
Talk about coming in and
Oh
I mean, he's
my
really
God.
made up for blowing the no-hitter.
Yes.
You got to let that one go. Right?
Yes.
So, Gansey,
Forgiven.
Forgiven. You are now off the hook. Great. We won't bring that up, but once a year now, as opposed to every time.
It's
You've done a great
unbelievable.
job. Well, I think the Anthony Simons signing is terrific too, and that really
I
was
love
such
that
That
signing.
was such an under the radar,
Yeah.
like because the Jaylen Brown trade was like, I mean, everywhere.
Right.
I mean, that was like the focus. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's like a little nugget of information that seems important. He's been very good thus far.
I mean, look at this roster.
I
All
know.
of a sudden, like he transformed it.
Which I don't think anybody thought was possible coming out of that, coming out of the Knicks sweep. I think,
No, I was done. I was
He
resigned.
was out. He
Yeah.
told us he's done.
I
Gave up on
I
him
was
for years.
resigned.
It's like a 3-year blackout period. he
I
on.
was resigned to the fact that this is
You're
what they
obviously
are.
way back in.
My God. I mean, like the fact that he performed miracles. I still don't know how Boston made that trade. And all the talk about that he's not an analytics player, that's hogwash.
He's a great player.
Yes. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's insane that they were able to get Jaylen Brown from the Celtics.
Right. In your
For
own,
that
right,
package.
in your own division conference. Like, what are we doing?
We're talking about Paul George
I know.
and some picks.
Right. Farewell, Paul.
Paul George.
It's insane that
playoff
nobody
poopy.
matched that.
Right.
How could nobody match that?
I don't know how nobody beat it.
know.
Like that's
Feels like that'd be easy to beat.
Right?
very easy.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll playoff PP. I could do better than that.
Right. So it's like, how does Brad Stevens look at that and go like,
Oh yeah.
this looks pretty good.
Right?
This is great. Let's get this done.
But I gotta tell you, he ain't Danny Ainge.
No.
He spent a lot of money for Mitchell Robinson.
Fair.
I mean,
Fair.
Mitchell Robinson's Mitchell Robinson. Like you
Right.
can't be on the floor
No.
because you're going to hack him. He's not going to make a free throw. It's a horrible signing. Their team stinks. I love it. Go ahead, Tatum and all. Pritchard. Yeah, they stink.
All right,
I'm out.
calm
I'm not saying
down.
Tatum stinks,
Oh, I'm
but
like,
their team
Jesus.
stinks.
I don't.
Forget that. Forget the Celtics. They're dead.
Oh, all right.
I'm out.
He's out.
They're
He's
dead.
back in on the Sixers.
Oh my God.
I will say the Sixers do have this quality to them that I just can't every time. They are truly every time you're out on them. It's like they
pull you back in.
They pull you back in.
Well, there's no way. Like, you know what's amazing? I wrote a column about it the other day about the Gansey thing. So this was Thursday. Gansey had been the Sixers GM for 34 days.
Yeah, is that it?
34 as of Thursday. It was 34 days.
And you waited like 2 weeks
Because
before
I
the
called
press
about the
conference,
34-day
right? Okay.
process. And he didn't lose a single game on purpose.
I mean, there you go.
Right? And
Right.
if you think about it, he comes in under the cloak of darkness, right? Because it's
Right.
Friday. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, you own a PR agency.
Yeah.
So if you have bad news that you have to get out in the public,
You're going
when
Friday.
would you drop it?
Friday afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, the Friday news.
Friday happy hour.
Yeah, exactly. What they've pretty much done, like dropping news during like the Super Bowl.
Right.
Right. Like their track record of the classic news dump is like right.
Yes.
Like what is the event that is happening right now that no one is going to pay attention to? This was like the opposite of that.
It's unbelievable. So they do this and they announce Gansey. You're right. They waited almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's why when you said 34 days, I was like, wasn't it like 15?
Yeah.
Like because of how the
from
press
the
press conference.
Moment.
Yeah.
Right. And he's done nothing but like clean up Maury's mess.
How bad was Maury? When you see what he's done, even the depth pieces he's bringing in,
Horrible. You're right.
it's so much better than what Maury did. Like, what was Maury doing the whole time? Other than writing those plays. Like,
It was
stinks.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
I know.
How bad he was.
Right. It's like we went.
Kyle Lowry.
And everybody was asking, like, Mike Gansey, I don't know. Like, no, like, right? And all of a sudden, it was like, I got this. This is not that hard.
And, he's wooing LeBron because he knows LeBron. His brother put the picture out.
Right. The brother, I mean, now.
Brother's the best.
That was hysterical, like, too. Like,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, you've got, like, every GM, like, it's like, that's such a Philadelphia thing, right? And then he's got his brother that's, like, posting the picture from high school with the eyeball emojis being like, hey. Right? And it's like, stop. Like,
I love it. I love the brother
that's
out of bounds.
It's totally like, and he's been waiting on that for like forever. Like totally.
Yes.
That picture would have been posted if Gansey had stayed in Cleveland.
Yes.
Like that picture, he's just been holding on.
Yeah.
He's like for free agency. 2026.
Wait, I'm leaving. I'm going to Philadelphia. So all right.
Okay, got it. Ooh, Jaylen Brown. This feels like the right time to drop that. That's right. Like such a
awesome.
So awesome.
I mean, this whole thing has been fantastic. I mean, it really has been. And then the Flyers, the Carlsson, man, that's amazing.
I know.
Talk about throwing it out there, man.
Yes.
Like, yo.
Danny Briere, hold my beer.
Yes.
Like,
But
yes.
they're at a situation where you're not going to, there's no 1C's free agency, just unrestricted free agency. By the time you draft one, it's going to take 4 years for them to get up here. So you see a guy you think can grow into what you're going to be. You overpay for a couple years.
Right,
and
it's 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect.
Like he's not worth it now,
right.
But in 2 3 years, he's probably going to be worth that money. And even if they sign, you've announced to the league, we're back. We're serious.
That's
we're
right.
players.
That's right.
Agents, players, everybody look
everybody
out. We're
took
back.
notice of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That
Like,
was
look
more
at
about
us.
that. Exactly. That was more about like, okay, we're ready.
Right.
Like we got a taste of this. We know we've got the plan. This is what we're doing. It's a big move.
I'm excited.
I mean, if it comes through.
I mean, I don't know how Anaheim. Honestly, I don't know how they met. They had the money, but I don't know how you.
They've got a lot of young players.
Yeah. You got a lot
Well,
of
I mean,
money.
they thought they were going to sign them. The reports are like 10 to 12 mil.
Yeah. Not
18.
anymore.
I know.
18 is.
God, that blows your budget out of the water.
Yeah, no one expects him to be
Right.
the highest paid player in all hockey.
No,
Right.
it's. But like that's what you have to do. Which is
Right.
why I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, lots to get to. We got Kyle coming up. Looking forward to that. We're going to talk all about your 76ers. Our man Kyle's been all over it. He's just been fantastic. You got to check it out. All right. First, let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. And the World Soccer Hub is up and running tonight. What is VG? What is Team USA against Belgium?
They're pretty healthy.
The Waffles.
Minus 147.
They're minus 147?
Yep.
Let's go. USA, baby. I can't wait for this game.
Yeah, I guess
some waffle
you gotta
ass.
Hold off to see if the appeal's approved or not.
Jump in. It doesn't matter. They're winning. Check out the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app.
You get better odds if he's not there.
Whatever, cuz. You got it all. Check it out. BetParks.com has all the details. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. New customers get 500 spins on the soccer-themed slot game. Go, go, go. Collect them. And $500 casino bonus back. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Xfinity and the 5-year price guarantee. What if you can have reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and keep it the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. It's Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, finds and fixes problems before you notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices work in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Best part, no annual contracts. There are no hidden fees. You get Xfinity's best equipment included. A lot changes in 5 years, right? Like my kids grow bigger and they're bigger than me, and we're all using the same Wi-Fi. But you know what? Your Wi-Fi should stay reliable. The price should stay put. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity.
Imagine that. Can you imagine if I had said to you last time I said imagine that, we were going to have Jaylen Brown, and then we were going to be talking about the Leo Carlsson offer sheet? No. Did you imagine that? Absolutely not.
No. Restrictions apply.
But restrictions do apply. Right.
What an awesome time.
What a time to be alive, right?
It's so cool.
Yeah, so great.
And yet, the Eagles haven't even begun yet.
Exactly. And we had the
There
Phillies.
was some video of Howie at the airport fist bumping people. I was cracking up. All right. Joining us on the Xfinity mobile call-in line, our man, Kyle Neubeck.
He's from Hatball, he's from Horseshoe, he's from Hatball, Horseshoe. Westchester in the house, Cal Neubeck.
There's the captain. What's up, captain?
Every time that final photo just kills me when it comes up in the montage.
It is
the
greatest. It is the greatest. All right, speaking of the greatest, Mike Gansey, buddy, you've been all over it. Oh, my God. You want to talk about an entrance.
Listen, he's been cooking. And it was funny because we're sitting there, second round of the draft, the second night, and we're like, is this guy going to do anything? They're just going to sit and pick at 22, and then they do nothing in the second round, and we're not hearing a whole heck of a lot. But it's a great example of don't confuse silence for inactivity. And they made some really aggressive moves. Like, here's the thing. The Jaylen Brown trade is obviously the biggest move. But going and getting Anthony Simons at the price that they got, get a bench offense piece, and maybe he doesn't fill all the needs you need there, and they're gonna have to probably sort out some things with this roster by the deadline. But they undoubtedly have gotten better. So I think the number one thing that I hit on all of last week was I respect that he was willing to get aggressive right away, because you never know, guy taking over a new job. First time as like the head honcho. Sometimes you come out and it's like, okay, I'm going to slow play this. I want to sit around. I want to assess. He came in and he's all guns blazing because he's ready to go.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, let's go move by move. And it's funny. I said this to VG. I think I said to you. I love the Folarin pick, right? So I was like, that was a great pick, man. I was telling VG. I'm like, I like everything that that Gansey's saying, right? And he's like, oh, you're smitten, you're gaga for Gansey. And then the Brown bomb drops. Now, I still can't understand why Boston would make that. Like, there's nobody that could beat that package. It's still mind-boggling to me.
Well, I'm surprised they pulled the trigger on this now. Because, from what I have heard, what's been reported out there, it just seemed like a marketplace didn't take shape. And so a lot of the league is operating under the kind of same beliefs that I think you've heard coming out of Boston, like, maybe he's overrated. I think he certainly is making a little too much money is probably the main thing. Like, that was a big concern. But I think there are just a lot of execs out there who are like, guy puts up good counting stats, but maybe there's a little more to it. Now, if you're the Sixers, the thing is, he's still a much better player, more reliable player than Paul George. And so, like, we can get into, where is he rated in terms of 1 to 450 in the NBA. But I think at the cost that you got him for, it's just an absolute no-brainer. Like that, I don't need to worry about whether he's properly rated or not because they made the basketball team better. And that's the most important thing here.
No, you're right. We all get caught up in the how you rank him, and I know he's not an analytics darling and all that other nonsense. But, like, in the end, last year was supposed to be a gap year for the Celtics, and he made them relevant. I mean, every night he brought it. He's reliable, something that they haven't had in forever, reliability. Pair that with VJ and Maxey, who are always there. Now you have three guys that are always there, always looking to play.
Yeah, and the other thing, Anthony, is I feel like he fits a lot better into the identity they want to have when Joel's not playing, whether that's he's on the bench or he's just absent entirely. Like, those dudes are going to get up and down. They're going to, if it's one guy rebounding the ball, the other guy's the outlet, like they can play interchangeably in that way. You're filling the lanes on the wing, and then Brown obviously can attack guys off the dribble, get to the rim in transition. And then if not, obviously he's been a big time isolation guy. I like the fact that now they have an athletic wing to pair with Maxey and VJ in some of these ball screens. So if you try to hit guys with a switch, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, you got a guard on Jaylen Brown. Like, Paul George was a good mismatch hunter, but Paul George is doing that so he could fire up a contested jumper from 18 feet or whatever. Jaylen Brown is still athletic, dynamic enough with the first step and his strength that he's getting all the way to the basket. He's drawing a lot more free throws. Like, there are a lot of things that you're going to gain by adding him to this team. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is a great trade. We're obviously going to see how it plays out in terms of the fit. It's going to take a little bit of time for everybody to settle into their roles. But I think one of the things that gives me great confidence, is that we know who Maxey is as a person and as a leader. And I don't think he's looking at it like, I scored 29, 30 points a game last year, so I just need to have the ball all the time. I think he'll probably look at this as, I've got help coming, and I have the ability to play off the ball where I'm probably even better than I am on the ball, but there just have not been as many opportunities for me in that department the last couple of years. So
you're right.
I think when you have a tone setter, a culture setter like that, a leader who's willing to say, like, yeah, I can give, I'll defer, like I can play a different role. I think that helps everybody out from day one.
I mean, what makes me so ecstatic, and I'll open up to the guys, but the fact that Maxey, we're not going to waste his years here. Like, I thought you're going to waste the next 3 years of Tyrese and not going to kind of align with whoever you're going to build with VJ. And it was kind of unnerving because I'm like, oh my God, I have to think about actually moving him because at some point he's going to want out and everything else. And now you save that. And I love the vision, like the vision that Gansey has, like Dean Wade is a rebounder, defender, could defend the front court, all the front court positions, right? Like, you got power, like you said, Simon's off the bench. Huck Purdy's a big athletic big. Like, I kind of like what his mind, what his vision for the team is.
Yeah, now if only if they go out and sign LeBron, I feel like there's a LeBron-sized hole on this roster, Anthony. So that would kind of tie all this together. I wouldn't say I'm counting on that for sure. But I think the thing that's really exciting is that how many years in a row have we said, if Joel Embiid's healthy, they got a chance. If not, kind of throw the season in the trash, whatever. Now they don't have to think that way. Like, you can still do manage his minutes, however many games you want to play, back-to-backs, all that stuff. But you don't have to feel like you're going into these games like, Joel's out, they're going to lose tonight. You can genuinely put yourself into better standing position, better playoff seeding. And like, I think people should understand that's really important. They might say, hey, the regular season only means so much. But if you get an easy first-round opponent compared to, you're having to play some of these great teams in round one, part of the reason the Sixers got beaten so badly by the Knicks, other than the Knicks, is that it took all 7 games and it took a lot out of you to get out of that first round. Like, we're all excited about them beating the Celtics, but that was a war. Like, you had to exert every last bit of energy, and then you play a team that was sitting waiting for you. So hopefully you can set it up where you get like a top 3 seed, easy draw in the first round, and that sets you up for a much better second round, and hopefully beyond that, obviously, to the conference finals and finals.
Saving Maxey too, just not his career, his body too. Like now he can play 34 minutes, 33 instead of 38 and 39.
And from
night.
the basketball standpoint, where he's not getting blitzed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where both Folarin and Simons are going to come in, right? They now have guard depth that they're guys who can get their own shot off the dribble, who can kind of lead that second unit. And so when Maxey goes off the floor, it's not, hey, we have no way to score. It's not just like, hey, VJ, we're praying that you can do something. And obviously, we're all hoping that VJ takes a big step forward next season. I think he's going to. I don't know if you guys saw any of the highlights. He played for the Bahamas on Friday night.
You posted about it.
Yeah.
It was. He looked outrageous.
So granted, playing a Jamaica team that borderline one of you guys probably could have started or been on the bench for that team based on the final score. But VJ just looks like he's ready to take off. Like the composure, the skill set. He went like 6 for 11 from 3 or something crazy in that game. So to have all that means Maxey should not be getting anywhere near these like 39, 40-minute games that we saw all last year, unless those games are going to overtime.
Yeah, I think that's probably from my perspective, one of the most important things about this trade is like by the end of the season, he looked beat. Like he looked beat up. And I think that's something they really have to protect against. In terms of the LeBron situation, let's just get to it. Like, how a LeBron-sized hole on the team, what do you think the chances are? And if it's not LeBron, what do you think the other move is?
So I think the chances are low, but I don't mean to say that because it's like, oh, the Sixers are low down the priority list. I just feel like if we're trying to look at all the options, and there's been reporting to this effect over the weekend, Cleveland just feels like the easiest one, where it's like, at the end of the day, all these teams probably have flaws and are not like a guaranteed championship contender. And there's a lot of downside going to places like that. If you just kind of want this to be your send-off, you're not going to get a send-off in Philadelphia, for example, if you don't win. Like, you need to come here and win a title. Whereas if you go back to Cleveland, it just got, hey, the hometown kid comes back for one last ride, and maybe they don't win a title, but they get to celebrate him for a full year. I don't think you're getting that if you come here, if you play for Golden State, if you go to some of these other teams that are in the mix. So I just kind of think Cleveland wins out on that front. If they don't get him, I just think they're probably going to ride out what they have with this roster for a little bit. Like maybe there's a buy low candidate as a 3-4 or a 4-5 type to add in the front court. But I think, once they sign Simons and they use their last little significant bit of money that they had available, that's kind of planning for later. It's like, this is the best value guy we can get for that money. And maybe we're going to have to trade him at the deadline for someone who fills a bigger need, since I think he essentially is like the short-term version of what they want Folarin to be, just this all offense, kill people off the bench type of guy. And so this is probably what we're going to look at, regardless of whether it's LeBron or nothing. And I think that's fine. Like, I think they have enough talent, and, certainly they have a hole or two here and there, but they got enough to win a bunch of games between now and February. And then we'll see where things sit at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Rich Paul is just trolling us. He's with Max Kellerman being like, wow, they definitely got LeBron's attention now after this move.
Well, no, I mean, like, listen, I think it's real, VJ. I think he's looking at the Sixers and analyze it. But to Kyle's point, it's the ending. It's the perfect ending to the story, right? Like, when you write a story, you write the ending of where the kid from Ohio finishes his career. After he's done all the work around the league, he brings the title, goes out elsewhere, and then comes back home to finish. I think Kyle's point's right. Now he could still go, hey, man, I want to chase one more title for the
Because Murphy's piece touched on it today or yesterday. I think it was today, where reports are he was considering the Knicks, and then until they won the championship, he wanted to be the one who brought the championship back to New York after a long drought. I mean, we kind of have that scenario here. We got a pretty long drought. We'd love him.
Yeah, I
Come
don't,
to win.
VG, I don't think that's wrong. So to me, the question is, does he care more about the upside or does he care more about the downside? Because, like, for example, when Jordan was playing for the Wizards, he came back after he'd been, out the game for a few years and had very little expectations. Because LeBron has continued to play at a fairly high level all these years, people are not, if you have not had LeBron on your team already, so like Miami, but Cleveland certainly, you're expecting him to come there and then like, okay, this is our final piece. We're going to win the title. Like, we got LeBron on the team. And that creates a lot of expectations. Now, I'm not saying he's going to run away from those. I do think that if he could have it his way, he'd love to, whatever, if he's going to film the documentary to get the storybook ending, no matter where he is, you go out on top, you win a title, yada, yada, yada. But realistically, are you going to win a title most of these teams? No. So I tend to think he thinks about what can I tell a story with?
Yeah.
And Cleveland feels like, to Cuz's point, like that it's the end of the story. We're back where it all started, going back home.
There's symmetry.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. There's symmetry. It just fits. The whole thing fits. Yeah. And I get it to VG's point. Yeah, there's a lot of attractive. If not Cleveland, then I think Philadelphia's at the top. Like, if you took Cleveland out, I mean, makes more sense at Golden State. You got to go through OKC and San Antonio out there, and it makes more sense than, I don't know that how he plays with Giannis in Miami. I think this is a perfect fit with Maxey and Brown and Embiid to some extent.
Yeah, and VG's right in the sense that here there's a lot of upside in compared to like Golden State. You go there, it's Steph Curry's team. Like, that's always going to be his team. He's already won the 4 titles there, so it might be like maybe he just finds more joy playing there. It's like, hey, they had so much fun playing together in the Olympics, and so even if we don't win, there's still like hey, we can. The old guys, the expendables, we're going out for one last ride, and maybe that's what he's looking for. But I agree with VG in the sense that with the Knicks off the board, they just won that title. This opportunity is as golden as any for the upside component. Like, you come here and you're the final piece, and you can find a way to win a title. You're immortal here, and that also would make him, I don't know how many guys, maybe the first guy to win a title with 4 different franchises, right? Like, that would be an achievement.
He's always going to chase
itself.
Jordan's ghost. That's just how it's always going to be. Mm-hmm. He's just chasing. And when Mike went to Washington, the Bulls had already broken up. He was just looking to play. Like, he's an action junkie, right? Like, this is different. Like, LeBron is all about the story of LeBron. It's all, I don't want to say it's manufactured, because the greatness is not manufactured, but everything else is manufactured by machine. Like, it is laid out, like, in the only 2026 can do. Mike was just, I need to play. That's all that was about. And this is different. And that's why, ultimately, you're probably right.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like, they're still in the mix. And to me, that is mind-boggling given where we were with this team, like, a month, 2 months ago, even like 2 weeks ago. We're sitting having conversations on your show, Anthony, and it's like, it's just going to be, they're going to make these marginal upgrades, and like Dean Wade, nice player, like the Folarin pick, but we're not thinking about, hey, they're making, franchise-altering trades. They're going to be in the mix for LeBron. But you make that type of move with Jaylen Brown, and now all of a sudden you're catching people's attention. You already have Maxey. You got all these other things. Like, that has set up for a very fun summer. And the other thing is, if they don't get LeBron, people are going to move on. Like, there have been off seasons in the past, like in 2018 when he went to the Lakers. It was just like, hey, that was kind of it. That's the big move. That's who you're going after. And then he goes to LA, and it's like, there's nothing left. You're just kind of waiting for your next opportunity. You already made your big move. So this is a cherry on top, if you get him, that would put you in a different level in terms of contender. But I think the excitement is still there in a big way regardless. And I think that's the biggest thing this Brown trade did. It rejuvenated the city in terms of the basketball fandom. I've had so many people reach out. I haven't heard talk to me about the Sixers in I can't even tell you how long. So I know that has already set a good tone for this offseason, and that people are very excited for training camp, preseason, and
it's
start of next year.
awesome. Like, everybody. Yeah, I know you did ESPN radio the other day. I did it on Friday. Like, it's like everybody's like, Philadelphia. It's freaking awesome, man. It really is. All right, you are also a big-time soccer guy. So let me ask you about tonight and how you size up USA against the Waffles.
Yeah. Say nothing good about Belgium. Let's just
you got to
get
take
that
the
out of
home
the way.
team, right? Like, come on. After they got Balogun back from the brink there, that was just what a crazy story that is. I was just resigned to the fact they weren't going to have him. So to get him back that you weren't expecting to have him was huge. I'll be honest, I haven't been super impressed with Belgium throughout this tournament. Like early on in group play, like they got some big names. They have some guys that are still super, super talented. Like De Bruyne is a legend. Like, love watching that guy play. But the team overall is old. And the U.S. has home country advantage. You got younger legs. You're playing really well. Like, you just look at how they've matched up against some of these other teams that have, gone on in the knockout round. Paraguay, while I hated the way they played against France, Paraguay they beat up pretty easily. Yeah. And then that's a team that goes out and beats Germany in the knockout rounds and holds France to a 1-0 game and, makes them really earn that over 90 minutes. So you have every reason, if you're rooting for Team USA, to feel confident right now. And I think the big thing that I have appreciated is they've spent a lot of this tournament so far on the front foot. Like, historically, because we're not viewed as a soccer nation, it's always like, a little more conservative, sit back, hit teams on the counter. They're playing to win. They're not playing not to lose. And I think that's part of playing at home. You have the crowd behind you. Got a little more energy. I like the way that Pochettino has set them up. So I'm very excited for this one tonight. I'm hoping they can continue this run because, boy, would it be fun to. The only shame of it is we had our last game of the World Cup in Philadelphia, but Philadelphia, by all accounts, incredible host city for the World Cup. Like, all the games were
because of her.
Well attended. The fan fest has been and was great. Like. Yeah. Just the only shame of it is we couldn't get more of these because it feels like, based on everything that has happened around the World Cup in this city, should have gotten some more games here. Yeah. But can't complain about an awesome event up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Thank you, Kyle. And I thank you on behalf of the whole team. But look, we would have loved to have a quarter. I think we felt like we would have been a great host for a quarterfinal match. FIFA makes its decisions. We got July 4th. We got our 6 matches. But I think that the city has positioned itself well for any future. 2031 Women's World Cup, or if they're looking at 2038 already for bringing it back to the U.S. for the men's. Right, like, those are some areas where you can say, like, okay, like, Philly can handle it. There's a blueprint now, and that's something I think is a good long-term legacy for the city. I certainly would have loved to have one more shot, and very jealous of my colleagues.
Who has the quarters?
Quarters are Kansas City, Miami, LA, and Boston.
Boston. Kidding me?
I was waiting for Cuz on the Boston part. But yeah, I think on every level, between just getting to and from games, the atmospheric games, how many people are there, the fan fest was great and also has been well attended. I've been there a couple times already, and I think people have really gotten a lot of joy out of that. It's been really cool having all these people in and around the city, like driving down Broad Street or up Broad Street to work, and seeing just like the stream of Brazilian jerseys, the stream of Croatian jerseys. It's been a fun experience to have these people and, like, obviously tell their stories too on the news and social media and whatnot about how great of a time they've had in Philadelphia specifically. Yeah. So I think
that scene on Saturday from Independence Mall was amazing.
Oh yeah,
I mean that was incredible.
So, like, the the couple who got married, who then was surrounded by all the Croatian people. That was a really fun one. I think the Philly Elmo met the
drummer,
the one big drummer.
Yep.
And those are moments that you can't plan for, that just happen organically, and because that's Philadelphia. It's been great.
Kyle, I couldn't agree more. That is, like, what you just described is everything that I think we as a team hoped for. And you get all the questions about, like, safety, security, transportation, all the nitty gritty. And for all of that magic to happen, all of that great work has to be there. And so, like, to see that actually come to fruition and to see all those kind of magic moments. And, you know, we surprised a young boy who was 9 who broke his arm with tickets to Saturday's match. And, like, the pictures that his mom sent, you're just like, you know, like, it's just so, like, it's awesome that this is such a core memory for, like, all of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know? It feels like everybody's kind of been everybody was part of the party, and that's been really fun about it.
It's been pretty awesome, too, how the tournament has really taken over and taken the country. Obviously, with USA being good.
The time zone helps, too. Like, they're all games that we can watch at normal times. It's not 2 in the morning. That's a big thing for us here.
And all day long. You got to do it, during the summer. Like, the time frame is great because you're not going up against football. Like, the one got pushed in because of the heat and was against football, and, like, you're not going to win. So this is, like, perfect spot for it. You know?
But I totally agree
and on
with you,
top of
Kyle.
that, the games have been amazing.
They have, yeah.
And I was going to say, I totally agree with you, Kyle. I think Pochettino is I think that he has made all the difference for the U.S. men's national team, and that the way he kind of entered, and in a lot of ways, it reminds me, we talked about Gansey and kind of like the quiet way that he was pretty low key when he took over that team, and he made a lot, and he was playing a lot of, you know, what people would say, like, what's he doing? Why is he playing these guys? What's happening? What's this lineup? This doesn't make any sense. And I think it was all to be able to figure out, like, all right, who are the players that are going to gel together, who are going to buy into this system, who are going to say, like, all right. And to your point, like, the way that they play on their front foot as opposed to their back foot is a marked change for U.S. men's national team. And I think that's, for going into tonight, I think that makes a huge difference. And I think his coaching has made a huge difference.
And he threw a strike before the Mariners game.
Yeah. Great
it's
pitch.
a perfect strike.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Kyle, so much fun, buddy. I was talking to my cousin about this. We were very excited because we're lifelong Sixers people, obviously. But also, he brought this up because he knows he watches you guys all the time. He knows how I feel about you guys. And it was like, these dudes deserve a relevant team. All right? Kyle, Derek, and Devon deserve a team that matches their talents. So I'm excited that we get to have you guys cover this thing.
Well, you know who else deserves it more than us, Anthony? The fans.
Well,
they have, you know, all that they've been put through with this franchise.
Yes.
They deserve some nice things. So I will take it, and I'm very excited to have a relevant team. But I'm just as excited, if not more excited, for the whole city to feel this type of energy again.
It really is awesome. Thank you, my brother. Great stuff, pal. We love you.
See you guys.
Kyle Neubeck. All right, coming up, we switch gears to MLB, the next big happening in Philadelphia. In fact, 1 week from tomorrow is the Midsummer Classic, as they announced the All-Star Selection Show right after the soccer, with the shadow of, Independence Hall was in the background. I love that area. Yeah. It looks so good.
That's where the red carpet show is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Anyway, we'll talk about that with Corey coming up next. But first, a word from our friends.
This summer, declare your independence from hot, miserable sleep with Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale. Stay cool all night with cooling mattresses starting at just $6.99. Plus, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and pay 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 full years interest-free on better sleep. So stop sweating through summer nights and sleep cooler, longer, and more comfortably. Freedom from hot sleep starts today at Ashley Stars and Stripes Mattress Sale. Shop for more deals in-store or at ashley.com.
You know it's officially summer when Hoagie Fest comes back to Wawa. I got to ask you, what's your Wawa order? Mine, you know I'm going classic Italian. I love my Wawa hoagies. Hoagie Fest is back this year, bringing even more value to the table. Right now, you get a shorty hoagie, wrap, or chicken sandwich, plus a bag of Hers chips and a small fountain drink for $6. You're extra hungry? It's only $8 for a classic meal. Whether you're grabbing lunch between meetings, fueling up before a game, or making a quick stop on a summer road trip, it's an easy, delicious meal at a great price. You know, I love it. We stop on the way to baseball. Hoagie Fest, fuel up after, between games. Big flavor, great value, same Hoagie Fest energy we all know and love. But it's only here for a limited time, so get it while you can. Hoagie Fest is back at Wawa. Gotta have Wawa.
This summer, declare your independence from hot, miserable sleep with Ashley Stars and Stripes Mattress Sale. Stay cool all night with cooling mattresses starting at just $6.99. Plus, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and pay 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 full years interest-free on better sleep. So stop sweating through summer nights and sleep cooler, longer, and more comfortably. Freedom from hot sleep starts today at Ashley Stars and Stripes Mattress Sale. Shop for more deals in-store or at ashley.com.
All right. It's going to be a spectacle. And we saw the All-Star selection show, Chris Myers, the whole thing. They had A-Rod. They piped A-Rod in. A-Rod said the Phillies are a team to be afraid of. He said the Phillies are ready to go. In fact, I had to text him because he's going to join us this week. After the hit on Saturday, I was watching. I go, dude, that's a great hit. Got everybody fired up.
Right.
He's like, well, you know how much he loves Philadelphia.
Get out.
So his, a personal assistant is from Philadelphia. It was funny, during 2022, when he was here with Fox, I knew him from New York and when I was covering baseball. And I see him, and he's like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever. It was like during the height of the song and the whole
Bedlam
thing.
at the Bank.
Yeah, all that stuff. And he's like, this is the greatest thing. I love being here. He goes, this is better than Yankee Stadium. Like, it's unbelievable. He said, yo, I want these people to love me. Can you mind? I said, well, I'll try to help you. I don't know.
Good luck with that.
But, it was funny.
Still holding on to 2009.
How much he, loved it. So, he was like, dude, I'm excited. I can't wait to come back and, the whole nine.
Yeah. The
It's
MLB
kinda
All-Star
cool.
is going to be awesome. I mean, the
Yeah.
Phillies have been working on this, obviously, for many years, and it's just going to be an absolutely, it is going to be a spectacle, but, in the best way.
Yes.
And, so much Americana.
Yes.
Which I think is going to, I think, really amp the experience up.
And listen, it's 250 years we're celebrating, and baseball is a part of it.
Absolutely.
It's a huge part of this thing. I kind of get offended sometimes. I was doing a Fox show.
You get offended? Tell us more.
I was doing my Fox show on Saturday, and I brought up baseball and Americana and how special it is. And, I got, 4 or 5 tweets from people around the country going, and I mean, respectful, but, it was sorry, I can't agree with you. Baseball's too long. It's not Americana, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, it's undeniably Americana.
Right.
You can't go back. It goes back to the 1800s.
Right.
I'm as big a football fan as you can get. But football really had its height during the 90s. Is probably when it overtook baseball as the pastime, as the number one sport in this country. But it was always baseball.
Always baseball. That's a weird take to take now. I mean, after they've done the rule changes, the games are shorter, TV viewership's booming.
I was going to say, it's been better.
Well, I got
Baseball's better than ever right now.
Yeah.
It's the best baseball's probably been in 20 years.
So you know it'll
It's
go
a strange-
away. That's what they're going to
Right.
do. That's what
Yeah.
baseball
But
does.
I got 4. I counted them. 4 people. And again, it was like a segment. I didn't do a whole show on it.
Right.
I did a segment about baseball and Americana and, how beautiful it is and about our country and, everything from, Sandlot to Bull Durham.
You got the Field of Dream
Field of
games.
Dreams, right? Like the whole thing. And,
Natural.
Yeah, all that stuff.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Exactly.
I don't know.
And I was stunned that there were all four negative responses. I'm like, I don't say it. Anyway.
It sounds like they were just they need a cup of coffee. And
If it was one of them, I get. But four, I'm trying to go.
I love all that old grainy footage of Babe Ruth and them guys.
Willie Mays playing.
Ted Williams, when they put all those black and whites into color. There is something that is inherently beautiful.
Anytime you talk about Ted Williams, I think about Charlie telling me a story. Anytime you mention him, Charlie's in a bar. And in D.C. at a hotel bar with Ted Williams. And,
it sounds like the beginning of a joke, actually, but continue.
Right? So they start arguing about hitting. They put a magazine on the ground as the plate. And they start arguing. Like in the middle, and he goes, yeah, it was kind of crowded. It was kind of crowded. And then this woman she was standing on the plate. And Ted just shoved her out of the way. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Ted just said, get off my plate, lady. I was like, what?
Wait, so Charlie Manuel and Ted Williams are arguing about hitting in a D.C. bar.
Hotel bar.
Yeah. And Ted Williams is pushing a woman off the fake magazine plate.
Yes. He drops the thing. That's the plate.
Okay.
And there's a woman doesn't know.
I would say I think that's not something you expect.
Right.
Like I'm gonna give her some grace.
Right. It's a great story though, isn't it?
Great story. Very Charlie.
Very Charlie.
Very Charlie.
He's been here. All right. Let's get to our man, Corey Seidman.
He's the man.
What do you say, my brother? What's going on?
How you guys doing? You have a nice July 4th weekend before this tropical rainstorm that we got going on right now?
Last
night.
Wow, last night was a light show. We're talking about fireworks. 2 a.m, through my window. I thought it was like a horror movie.
Well, I was going to need an arc at some point, man.
Yeah.
My God, it was coming down.
Core, the All-Star team is set now. I don't know. People are talking about Bryce as a legend. Bryce Harper deserved to make the All-Star team. I don't get all this nonsense.
Yeah, so the one way that he wasn't going to get in, Harper, was that if Freeman got voted in and Matt Olson was the reserve first baseman, and that's exactly what happened. Fortunately, Harper gets in as the legend pick for his 9th All-Star team, being selected by the commissioner, Rob Manfred. You look at the 3 numbers side by side, Freddie Freeman's really come on over the last few weeks, which might have solidified it. Like, if you go back to late May or late June, mid-June even, Freddie Freeman was hitting like 260. But now he's up to 290, doing what Freddie Freeman usually does. The one infielder who made it over Harper, who probably didn't deserve it, was Sal Stewart of the Reds, but every team needs a representative. And I don't think that rule is ever going away. I mean, it's a rule that I like because that's the whole point of the All-Star game. You want to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you want to see the best of every team. But it was honestly, it was really good for Harper because he hasn't made a whole bunch of All-Star teams here with the Phillies. Like, I think this was only the 3rd time that he's made it as a Philly. So, yeah, the 3rd time as a Philly. Even the MVP award he won with the Phillies, he didn't make the All-Star team that year. So, a deserving nod, and good to see him in there.
Yeah.
Would have been an all-time snub.
The legend pick's a little weak. It's for old men who are retiring.
First of all, did he take another guy's spot?
I don't know who's out there.
Nobody.
Trout? Is Trout in it? No, he's a wrong
Trout's
team.
in.
Wrong team. Yeah, wrong.
Wrong league.
Yeah, wrong league.
Homie.
But there's only one legend pick overall. So I mean, that was obviously who. I mean, I saw some. I think Jim Salisbury wrote that it might have had a little something to do with the spat that Harper and Rob Manfred had in the Phillies clubhouse last summer, where Harper kind of cursed them out. And this is all salary cap related. Pretty much the player's stance being, don't even come into this clubhouse if you're going to try to start selling us on a salary cap. So maybe there was a little bit of softening some feelings there, but it's also just deserve it. I mean, it's deserve it. And There's also, there's still a storyline of will he or won't he participate in the home run derby, which he absolutely would not have done if he wasn't in the All-Star game. So there can't be a bad thing of having one of the top faces of baseball involved in an All-Star game in his home park. And hopefully he gets like a big at bat and makes an impact.
Yeah, I mean, he deserved it. I mean,
Are you surprised he got 0 player votes?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's always, but every year when you see those like internal player polls where it says like who's the most overrated, somehow Bryce Harper still ends up getting put at the top of that list. And I don't think that's been true for a long time either. So I don't know, maybe it's perception among guys who don't know him. But again, you had 3 really deserving first basemen in Freeman, Olsen, and Harper. One of them was going to be the odd man out. And this was a way for all 3 of them to make it.
you know better than anybody, because you could speak to this, like the only people less qualified to vote for other players are the players.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't pay attention to the rest of the league. And a lot of times their biases come out. If they don't like somebody, that's real.
Yeah, you vote for, a lot of times you're voting for your boy, you're voting for a former teammate you got along with. And yeah, players do have as many biases in these awards as writers do. I mean, a lot of people say that, like, for example, the writers shouldn't have the Hall of Fame vote, and maybe that's true. You know, I'm not going to say one way or the other they should or shouldn't, but I just don't know if it would be a much better system if you did have players voting, because there would still be like a level of bias. It just wouldn't be the same sort of bias. That's why
I think you need like a Supreme Court to do that.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court would have, like baseball people, venerable baseball writers. Like, you got to be vetted. You got to be a legit baseball writer. And you got to have baseball, like legit baseball people, managers, GMs, and you create like a Supreme Court.
Well, I can tell you, just because I'm in the BBWAA, there's a good amount of writers who are Hall of Fame voters who haven't even been actively covering baseball in a little while.
I know.
So, I mean, then you're not even like there day to day to kind of like get the expertise.
Well, that's the point. Like, you got to be active. You can't be like some guy. You got to be active. You got to be part of the whole thing, part of the machine.
Well, that's why it's good for the All-Star game. There's like different levels and prongs of voting. There's the fan vote. There's players involvement. There's managers involvement. So there's ways to fix mistakes. Like, you remember when that first batch of voting came out, and you saw like Bryson Stott leading the way for second baseman and Alec Boehm leading the way for third baseman, and like the Blue Jays' entire team was leading the American League. That would be kind of silly if it ended up like that. But this is kind of this creates some checks and balances in the All-Star system.
Yeah. Now, I will say, if you have had to cover the player to talk about whether or not it's Hall of Fame. Like, you got to be you have to be active at that point, so you could judge. Like, you're not just catching it on television.
And we see it now more than ever that like guys become Hall of Fame eligible, and people who didn't even cover them start retroactively looking at their career and trying to judge it. But you can't, because you didn't live through it. Those numbers didn't mean the same thing they did.
Exactly.
The player may or may not have been dominant within his own era. So it is always just kind of, and also we now value certain stats so much more than we did once upon a time. Like, if the prime example is Bobby Abreu, who was pretty much Juan Soto in the early 2000s, but nobody considered him Juan Soto. But you go back and you look at those numbers, he pretty much was.
Yep.
Let me ask you, do you guys, I mean, we kid about Bryce and stuff. Does he need some PR help? If you look at the fan vote totals, Marsh has like 220,000 more votes than Bryce did. Schwarber's got like 600,000 more. I mean, these are predominantly, I would think, the Marsh voters are the Philly voters, I would think. Does he have a perception problem here, or a PR issue in a little bit?
Yeah, Meg owns a PR company.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for Bryce Harper, but I think probably, given even just looking at the Phillies team, I think there was I think one thing about Philadelphia is that they want to make sure that somebody who's having a great season is recognized, right? So the push for Marsh was very authentic, and that was definitely the Philly push, right? Like, he was keeping them afloat at a tough time. He's been really good, heads down, and I think like that's the type of player that like Philadelphia wants to see rewarded. So it was like that doesn't surprise me. Schwarber, I think, has overtaken Harper in the Phillies on the Phillies as like the
lovable
face of the franchise. And I think, look, there's always going to be this question of like, is Bryce Harper pandering to the fan base more than like, there's always that back and forth, when he's like got the fanatic stuff and the bats and the this. I don't think he's been here long enough that I don't think it's not a shtick, but I do think that there's been enough time. And I think that everything that happened, and I goes back to the Dombrowski and elite, Philly fans they want production. They want out. I think there are a lot of people that would have said that Dave Dombrowski sentiment wasn't wrong. It was delivered the wrong way, right? Like that was right. Wrong word choice is what created that issue more than anything. But the sentiment behind it about how Bryce was last season, there was truth to that. And I think fans kind of took sides in that, right? Like he didn't acknowledge that like I could have had a better year, and separate it and went after the elite, right? And those and that's where I think that's where I think the breakdown is, right? So if you see less votes for him this year, it's because that's probably what people are thinking about from the offseason. And there are people that thought he should have been more self-aware to recognize what Dombrowski was trying to say, and other people who were like, he's still elite, and Dombrowski shouldn't have used that. It was a word choice issue.
No, it's a great point that you bring up. I think VG brings up a great point too about needing PR. I think he does. Here's the thing. Like we could look at numbers, but Freddie Freeman's lineup is a lot different than Bryce Harper's lineup. And who hits behind Bryce Harper? Yeah. I mean, that has to be part of the equation when you're analyzing. Yeah. He's had a great year.
Well, I also think that going back to the PR help, there are certain things that certain players have done that have endeared them to Philadelphia, right? And Harper, and it goes back to that, like, yeah, he does the stuff with the fanatic and all of that, but like he lives in Vegas, right? Like this is not home. He doesn't treat it like a home, right? Schwarber has really leaned in, right? And like they're like when he's here, right? They've got their really,
I don't get that. I don't get that Harper is not like. I mean, he's in Haddonfield, and
yeah, but
I get the sense that he's a part of the area.
I don't see. I don't. I think there's a lot of Phillies that are much more visible in terms of their community engagement.
Well, he doesn't go out like he's not a.
I don't mean that. I mean that like. Every year, Kyle Schwarber is doing something for for fall and for first responders. Nola's got his thing. Like there are ways that people have engaged this community in a way. The way the Utleys had SPCA when they were here, right? There are ways that players take on things that matter in those towns, and I don't know that he's done that. And I think that that's one of the reasons that Schwarber has become the more lovable face of the franchise.
Yeah, but isn't it because, let's be real.
He hits bombs?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
It's that we love a slugger. And he's big. And
an Americana slugger.
Yes, like he's Casey at the bat, the personification. Mm-hmm. And Bryce is not. Bryce is sleek, right? Like Bryce has that kind of different way. I think it's easy to love Kyle Schwarber.
I also wonder.
What's your feel, Core?
I was going to say, I also wonder if it's almost like the assumption from fans that Harper was going to get in anyway. Like, I don't need to, if I'm going to vote for a whole bunch of Phillies, I don't need to vote for him because he's going to get in anyway. It's almost like when you have the friend whose life seems like they're all good and you don't feel the need to give them a call to see how they're doing because everything seems like it's all good. Whereas someone in Brandon Marsh's position, this is so new. There's obviously going to be a groundswell to get him in because Phillies fans wanted to prove that their guy belongs and get him the recognition he deserves. It is interesting because when Harper got here, you mentioned like the pandering and all the different like Philly type stuff, the Philly centric stuff, and he did lean into all that. He hasn't leaned into it as much over the last 2 years, maybe because he feels like firmly entrenched here and I don't know, doesn't feel the need to do it as much. But that is an interesting point, the difference in popularity between Schwarber and Harper. I do totally agree that Schwarber has, if not overtaken Harper, he's an equal face of the franchise with him. It's like when people think Phillies nationally, they think Harper and Schwarber. It's not just Harper and then like Schwarber is the 1B.
No, you guys are right.
And I think he gets
definitely Schwarber.
National votes. I mean, if I'm voting, whoever's leading the league in home runs, I'll click that vote.
Right.
I'm just amazed that over 200,000 times people clicked Brandon Marsh and did not click.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
And I think perception. I think, Corey, I think you made a great point, like the perception of Harper and who he is. And like, I think there's probably misperception too, right? Like we see him every day up close, out of market. He's brash. I'm sure nobody in it, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like he's like I think
he still has the same when he was 19 and he was in Washington and viewed as a bratty travel ball player,
right. I mean, you think about that stare down, right? Like from against the Braves when he hit that home run, right? Like there are moments in his career that are these snapshots that like we as Philadelphians love. Not everybody loves that. And they don't love that brashness.
And personality-wise, he's nothing like what I expected. Like when Bryce Harper first got here, from just watching him play with the Nationals, you're assuming that there's going to be some of those like still punk kid elements there where he has an attitude and he kind of walks around with a swagger and like he's a little cocky, but that's like none of that's true about Bryce Harper if you kind of watch him on a daily basis. And that's the thing that a lot of other players around the league and a lot of other fan bases don't see. And it's why they chant overrated and they think that this guy's like a cocky kid because maybe he was at 16, but that's not the man that he is in his mid-30s.
Right. I was like, he's got married with 4 kids, like, right? Like, I mean, things have changed, but sometimes those perceptions don't, right? Just because of how much, attention he's gotten. And then he's punctuated some of those moments in his career with what we view as a wonderfully healthy confidence, but others might view it as that continuation of the brash narrative.
I almost think he's underloved here.
I would agree with that.
I agree with that.
I don't think people rush to his defense. Like, I don't know. Like, we've always had sacred cows.
Is he the Jaylen Hurts of the Phillies? Is this where we're going with this? Like,
I think Jaylen gets more support.
Jaylen's won.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Jaylen gets way more support. Like, if you in the end, like any criticisms, think about the star athletes, right, that we've had in this town. If you criticize them, does the fan base get upset? So Jaylen, yes. Who else?
Maxey,
he's beloved. Like, so no, he doesn't get it. I guess a little. Yeah, I get a little of my back up if somebody criticizes Maxey. Yeah. So yeah, I would agree with that. Embiid, no. No. Right? Go back to it. McNabb, no. Harper, not really.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. I mean, I feel like Embiid maybe earlier in his career and maybe Harper when he first got here. But I mean, my dad always tells the story about how Mike Schmidt, he wasn't received. It wasn't all glowing when he was early in his career, really until the Phillies won. The treatment of him, even as he was like hitting 45 homers a year and winning awards, that it wasn't like he wasn't treated like that super duper star Hall of Famer. Bryce Harper's going to end up playing more than half his career here. He's already had 8 years here, which is more than with the Nationals. He's going to end up playing out this 13-year contract and might end up playing beyond it. So he's going to have a lot of Phillies records by the time he hangs them up. And you hope that the one missing piece of this is that if they do win it all, he's going to be front and center in the middle of that, and that would gain him love for life. And hopefully that all happens because it's what he deserves. He's gotten everything else in his career except that.
I know.
I mean, if everything stays the same, I mean, probably Wheeler will get in. But would you have been upset if he was the legend pick?
No.
Right.
No. In fact, I'm upset that Wheeler's not.
It's ridiculous. Logan Webb is in over Wheeler.
He got rocked the other day in Colorado. He stinks.
And I don't want to hear about the innings because Miz pitched like 10 games last year and was in the All-Star game.
No.
Every team has to be represented.
Well, the Giants have 2 players, I think. Yeah.
And the idea that Wheeler,
bad call.
They're not in core. You can talk to this. The Phillies are not in this spot without Zack Wheeler. They're just not. We talk about Donnie Baseball, but reality, what happened was Wheeler came back at the same time Donnie Baseball got here.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Phillies are, I think, 11-2 in his starts this season, which is really all you need to know. It was surprising that Logan Webb got in over Wheeler because, to VG's point, that the Giants did have Luis Arraez get in, so they didn't need to have that second representative. Maybe it was that Webb's made, 4 or 5 more starts. But, the other part with Wheeler is even if he got in, I don't know if he would have pitched because isn't he supposed to pitch Tuesday and Sunday this week? So he would have been ineligible anyway. It still would have been nice if he got the nod.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This guy, you want to talk about the most under-celebrated great player on any sport on the planet is Zack Wheeler. The most and I know, listen, he doesn't care about it at all, but I almost feel like it's borderline insane that this dude is just a bulldog.
The last 6 seasons, he's been the best pitcher in baseball, and he's only made 2 All-Star teams during that 6-year span. And he obviously has not won the Cy Young, finishing second twice. So really, like, if you were to give out an award for the Cy Young of the last 6 seasons, dating back to 2020, it is absolutely Zack Wheeler. Yet he's gone along that run without getting many of the individual accolades that he deserves. I hope it doesn't affect him when Hall of Fame voting comes up, because, you know, a Cy Young award would look a lot better than not having a Cy Young award. And I don't know, like 8 All-Star teams would look better than 5
I don't
or 6.
understand how he doesn't. He's never won a Cy Young award. It's insane to me. Think about it. And, like, there's always somebody stealing his thunder throughout his career.
Always.
It's Skeeves, Mizorowski this year, right? Let's be real. Let's be real. Like, I get it. Kid throws 106. You also got taken yard on that 106, by the way. Just saying. Like, everybody else is overshadows him. I don't understand it.
I think part of it, too, with Wheeler, I mean, the other thing I don't even know if people have appreciated is, like, what he came back from last year, right? Like, the injury that he had was, I mean, that was life-threatening.
Yes.
And he is just out here like, all right, give me the ball. Let's go. Like, okay. Like, it's like we are taking his greatness for granted. I would absolutely say that. Like, we absolutely are taking it for granted. The fact that it's Sanchez and then Wheeler is like, that's, I mean, your cup runneth over with that. But, like, he's so good, and we just expect that from him.
Yeah.
Right? We just go like, okay, like, that's Zack Wheeler. Great. Thanks for another 2-1, 7 inning.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Check. Like, who are we?
Right.
Right?
Who are we?
Who
And
are we? Like,
This
really?
This is the best season he's had as a Philly so far. And like, almost you take it for granted. You just figure ho-hum, it's what's expected. But this is better than any year he's had previously as a Philly. Unfortunately, again, there are 2 more guys overshadowing him and his own teammate, Cristopher Sanchez and Mizorowski. But Wheeler's probably going to be a top 5 Cy Young finisher, especially if he keeps this up and gets to like 175-ish innings, which right now he's on pace for.
Pretty wild. All right.
Playoffs is what's going to matter.
Yeah.
I think that's where, because the one thing that Zack Wheeler, I think, he has ice water in his veins, right? And that he's proven to be able, he's that Cliff Leaf factor, right? Like, it's how big is this stage? How bright are these lights? Give me the ball, right? And that is, and in the playoffs, and especially with like Sanchez, who's a younger guy, like the lack of that experience, right, that they may have in some of these younger pitchers, that will matter.
Court, now they lost yesterday, but Nola pitched well. 7 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits. Now, it's with 7 strikeouts, I think.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Now, the Royals lineup isn't exactly good, but, you got to feel good about that start.
Yeah, feel good about it. It's a season-long start, seven innings for Nola. He was not the reason the Phillies lost on Sunday. I think it does have way more to do with the Royals, though. I mean, you look at that lineup, especially this lineup today against Cristopher Sanchez. This might be like a one-hit shutout with 13 Ks for Sanchez, because the only good bats the Royals have other than Bobby Witt are lefties, and all of those lefties are going to be nullified by Sanchez. But even against a righty like Nola, they expand the zone. They're swinging at like back foot curveballs they're swinging at. So I think it was a matter of it being a perfect matchup for Nola. But hopefully he's able to give them one more good start going into the All-Star break, so that he has, a full week to be feeling positivity instead of the negativity that he's felt pretty much since opening day 2025. Last week, the Phillies went 0-3 in games started by Nola and Alan Rangel, and they went 3-0 in games started by Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo. So that continues to be the theme of the team: 36-13 behind your top 3, and about 10 games under 500 when it's the 4 and the 5.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Hey, I would ask both of you, everybody here, if you're surprised. Nightingale was on a podcast, and he said that while the Mets would love to hire Alex Cora as their next manager, Cora's still expected to join the Phillies. Are you surprised with there's no Donnie baseball talk, keeping him around, best team in baseball?
I don't think he wants it.
Yeah.
No?
No.
I think he was pretty clear about that coming to the bench.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to be the manager that, I mean, he is for right now, but I don't think he has long-term desire for that.
Yeah, I don't think he has any interest in it.
I'm surprised.
And those conversations are probably already taking place between Dombrowski and Mattingly. Like, hey, would you want to stay on beyond this year?
Yeah.
You guys are having such a good run. It doesn't surprise me that they're going to make another run at Alex Cora. A, it's the guy that Dombrowski clearly wants. B, it would keep him away from the rival Mets too. But I could see Mattingly staying on if Alex Cora goes elsewhere or decides he doesn't want to manage. And then the Phillies say, well, you know what? Don Mattingly makes a lot more sense for us than an alternative we're not sold on. But it still strikes me as Alex Cora being like the fish that they want to reel in. And Don Mattingly, while this is amazing what he's done, it doesn't seem like he wants to be like take over the next 5 years the way Rob Thompson once did.
Nah, that's not. You can say
how about Corey's Dombo voice? He gave us a little Dombo.
Did I break it in Dombo voice there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
do it
I'll
again,
have
Corey.
to practice that after the show.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Bryce is not elite and particular. That's the word that always sticks out to me. Particular. The
Speaking
emphasis
of
on the
not
par.
elite, my man needs a mirror. I mean, dude, we're still looking for the same help. You got lucky with Marsh having the year that you did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's go.
There's a lot to do. I mean, you got to add a starting pitcher, got to add a bullpen piece, and got to add that right-handed bat. And I think I mentioned this on the show last week, but Byron Buxton has missed a lot of time now over the last week or two with a hip injury. Mike Trout might be coming back as soon as tomorrow. But those were the two big fish names that we were talking about. I don't think Buxton's realistic because of this injury situation on top of the no trade clause. So it does seem like the Phillies' work is going to be more so in that rental bat, rental pitcher, and maybe the impactful guy they get is a bullpen piece. But they're only 3 behind the Braves right now. And you have a week now going into the All-Star break where 5 of these next 7 games will be started by Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo. So if you go 5-2, you go 5-2 this week, you might be a game out of first place at the break.
Yeah, no, we said it's huge. Now, I don't think they have enough. The one thing that he still has to answer is under his watch, the farm system's been atrocious. Like, it's just awful. Like, the fact of the matter is they don't have enough. Even if Buxton was healthy, they wouldn't have enough to get him.
They hung on to mostly all of their top prospects, and there haven't been enough that have continued to progress. Like Justin Crawford, Andrew Painter graduate to the majors and haven't really hit the ground running. Aiden Miller hasn't played it all this season, so your prospect who's ascending the most is this 17-year-old kid, Francisco Renteria, which is a great sign, but it's not a great sign when a 17-year-old kid who's years away from the majors is like your most tantalizing 2026 prospect. It's the interesting part, though, is like Dombrowski has traded quantity from the farm system, but a lot of those guys haven't panned out either. The guy that's probably panned out the most was Ben Brown, the pitcher that they traded to the Cubs to get David Robertson back in 2023. It took Ben Brown about 2-3 years to start solidifying himself as a major leaguer. But a lot of those pieces that the Phillies traded, it's not like they'd be really helping them right now. It would be great, though, if this was a higher ranked farm system that you could pluck from. You could trade a prospect that won't cripple you. Because that's the thing, is that if you do go after top end talent by August 3rd, you're not going to have anything to trade next trade deadline or this offseason. So you got to hold on to the Gage Woods of the world at some point. And Dave Dombrowski arrived here with the reputation of always selling things off for win now veterans. The irony of that is that I think Phillies fans would have preferred that he did that here. Because like you go back to the 2023 deadline, probably didn't do enough that year, and that still feels like that was the year, 2023. Like if they made the finishing piece moves that summer, that would have been the year that this team could have like finished the job. And I hope that we're not one day looking back at this era saying that was the one that got away.
Exactly, because Bryce gets the brunt of the blame when the general manager hasn't, quite frankly, just hasn't done enough. He's missed on players, Castellanos, Taiwan. The Nola contract looks bad. Like, he's still chasing his tail to get another outfielder. And the farm system stinks. I mean, there's more fertile land in El Paso than there is here. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of people look at it and they say, you don't have a young outfielder that come up and replace the production that the Phillies have gotten in recent seasons out of Max Kepler and Adolis Garcia and Whit Merrifield. Like, those were the three guys you tried to bring in to play the corner outfield. What did they hit? A collective 200 among the three of them?
Exactly.
Finally, you're integrating another outfielder here in Gabriel Rincones Jr., who did homer over the weekend. He hits from the left side, though, which is a problem. It's a good thing they got that lightning in a bottle from Derek Hill offensively and defensively. That helped them out, but they definitely got to add another right-handed bat. It's also, I know this is a very, very small bright sign, but Alec Boehm is on pace for a career high in home runs this year. He hit his 11th over the weekend. So he's not going to hit 300. He's not going to hit you 40 doubles this year, but he might exceed 20 homers for the first time in his career.
He may exceed 20 doubles, too. He's got a real power surge going on.
Yeah, I think he's at 13 doubles. That's crazy, man. He had 44 a couple of years ago. You're thinking this guy's going to do it for his entire career, and it just kind of hasn't happened.
Who's it? Hack Wilson, who has the record for doubles?
That's good knowledge right there. Hack Wilson.
Hack. Yeah.
Hack Wilson?
Jeez.
Sounds like an old comedian.
My brother, always great core. We got a game today.
Yeah, 2:10, early one.
Yeah, little afternoon action from Kansas City. So it'll be fun. Good stuff, my brother. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Corey, Seidman. We love him. All right.
He played for the Phillies, Hack Wilson.
Did he really?
He's not your type of guy, though. He's short.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I have a profile
I've got yeah.
of an athlete. I got to tell you. All right. Lots to get to. Coming up, the offer sheet. Leo. In fact, we could use a Leo in town.
Think so.
Couple of Jaylens and a Leo.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And a Porter.
Yeah.
So Charlie's coming up next. First, a word from our friends. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app, the United States. The last host country left. That's it in the round of 16. We got two matches today. Belgium tonight. Earlier, Spain, Portugal. Over the weekend, we saw Canada, Paraguay, Brazil, Mexico among the teams eliminated. Live betting on the round of 16 is better on the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. Get some skin in the game with me with the BetParks app. Or with VG. He's the master of it. The BetParks app is a special World Soccer hub right in the app. All kinds of boosts, all kinds of stuff. Right now, customers get up to $500 casino bonus back, plus 500 spins on the new soccer-themed online slot game. Go, 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 collect them. You got to be, betparks.com has the details. Got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Dick's Sporting Goods. How about it? The hub of all sports, the house of sports is Dick's Sporting Goods. From all the stuff you need for soccer and baseball and softball to the fall sports coming up. How about all your football gear? I know we're ready to get going. Whether you're getting ready to cheer on your favorite team or getting the kids geared up to hit the backfields, Dick's Sporting Goods, your one-stop shop for everything you need this season. Jerseys and fan gear to rep the squads. All the equipment, glove, cleats, bats, balls, mouth guards, and you name it. Sleeves. It's easy, too. Stop by your local Dick's Sporting Goods store anywhere around the area or shop online at dicks.com before the next big game. Whether you head to the stadium or the local fields, make your first stop Dick's Sporting Goods because sports starts at Dick's. Now, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
I know you're fired up.
Yeah.
I know you're fired up.
I know.
Charlie O.
Charlie O'Connor, hockey whiz, best in the biz. Everyone agrees. It's Charlie. It's Charlie.
It's Charlie. Good morning, Charlie.
How's it going, guys?
Did you get your offer sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an offer sheet.
Did you get your offer sheet?
I don't get offer sheets. I don't know if there's another company out there that can offer sheet me.
Listen, this is unbelievable. Like I want your whole. Let's go analyze this thing 7 ways from Sunday. And what are the chances that Anaheim matches?
Well, I mean, it's a massive offer sheet. You know, there's no player in the NHL right now that has a cap hit as high as the one they offered to Leo Carlsson, $18 million. That is the highest that will be, regardless of which team ends up paying it, that will be the highest cap hit in the NHL, at least until, another star player gets offer sheeted or another star player gets a massive contract. But in the here and now, it's the largest. Leo Carlsson is not the best player in hockey. So the Flyers are objectively overpaying for Leo Carlsson. But this is the only way you can even make it a possibility that Anaheim, a team that knows that Leo Carlsson is, one of the, if not the centerpieces of their entire rebuild. It's one of the only ways to get them to at least think about the possibility of maybe not matching. Now, I don't think that the Flyers were diabolical in this offer sheet in the sense that, they stacked it with bonuses. It's like $86 million of the $90 million in the contract are all bonuses, which means that they have to pay that up front at the start of every league year as opposed to stretching it out over the course of the year. They have to pay, I think, like $36 million in the first 12 months. Look, that's fun. And that's fun for, fans to tweak Anaheim fans and whatnot. I don't think any of that actually matters because, the ownership of Anaheim are billionaires. If they want to pay it, they can pay it. What is going to decide whether the Flyers actually get Leo Carlsson or not is going to be whether Pat Verbeek looks at it and says $18 million messes up my entire future cap situation so much that it doesn't make sense for me to keep this guy at that price. That's the reason why the Flyers would get him, not because the Comcast bullied the Anaheim ownership into financial submission. I'm sure that makes Anaheim's ownership annoyed that they'll have to pay that much money. But this, I think, in the end, is going to be a decision by Pat Verbeek based on team building and roster construction as opposed to cold hard cash.
Was this a miscalculation by Verbeek?
Well, I mean, it's a miscalculation by Verbeek in terms of the way he's done business his entire time as general manager of the Anaheim Ducks. I hesitate to say it's a miscalculation in this particular instance because it's just a reflection of the way he's always done business. With basically every single one of his star players, Pat Verbeek has been an incredibly frugal, stingy negotiator. He makes his players scratch and claw for every single dollar in a contract. He's, for lack of a better way to describe it, a dick. He's a complete dick in negotiations to his players. He treats them like crap. It's part of the reason why he ended up, the relationship sour between him and Trevor
the Joe
Zegras.
Banner of negotiating, because Joe would want to win every deal.
Yeah, it's why the relationship in part sour between him and Zegras. It's why the relationship in part sour between him and Jamie Drysdale. He did it to both of those guys. This is something that Pat Verbeek has done for a long time, and Pat Verbeek, honestly, I think never thought that a player would actually call him on it. That a player, because part of his philosophy was what are you going to do? Accept an offer sheet? Well, Leo Carlsson accepted an offer sheet. So was it a miscalculation? Yeah, it was a miscalculation. He should have offered Leo Carlsson more in the lead up to July 1 to make it so it never got to this point. But it's a miscalculation born from who Pat Verbeek is as a person. I don't think he is capable of calculating this any different way because he just is a guy who likes to penny pinch his players, and he got burned.
So let's look at Carlsson. Now, we know, obviously, that this is all strategy, get a top-end talent. What does he bring? If Anaheim decides not to match it, what does he bring?
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he's not as good as you hope he's going to be. Right now, he is not an $18 million a year player.
Yeah, we know that. Yep.
That said, he's still probably a $10 to $12 million a year player. He's very good. 67 points in 70 games last year. That was his breakout offensive season. So basically point per game, right around that range. underlying 5-on-5 numbers solid, and he projects as like a Barkov type. That's always been the the comparison that gets thrown around. Sasha Barkov, who obviously the 1C for a Panthers team that won 2 straight Stanley Cups. So that's a profile that can be the first line center on a cup contender. The one question about him going into his draft year, because I remember I watched a fair amount of tape of him going into his draft year because it was the year the Flyers had the 7th overall pick, the one they took Mishkov in. The big question about him was his skating. He was like just okay, not that great. He's gotten substantially better in that area. He is now, he's not McDavid level fast. He's never going to be, but he plays at such a high pace. Like I think the stat that I pulled from NHL Edge, which is the NHL's tracking software about speed, is that he's in the 62nd percentile in terms of top speed. So above average, but not elite. But what separates him is that he's in the 96th percentile in terms of number of speed bursts between 20 and 22 miles an hour. So while he's not the fastest player, he plays so fast that it looks like he's one of the fastest players because he's always playing at such a high pace. And he's got great playmaking ability. He's got great vision on the ice. This is a guy who, like, if he doesn't get any better, is going to be a good first-line center. If he does get better, which is very possible given the upside and the physical tools, he could be a yearly 90-point play-driving center who is clearly one of the 1 or 2 best players on a cup team. He could be that good.
Yeah, like when you think about it, let's dream for a second. How would you construct the top 2 lines with Carlsson?
It's a good question. I mean, I still think I would have Zegras down the middle. I don't know if the Flyers would do that. I know the Flyers are still a little on the fence about him being a center, but I think I would have Zegras as my 2C. So you got your 1C as Carlsson, your 2C as Zegras. I'd want to put Tippett with Zegras because they have potential. Now, there's obviously a possibility if they get Carlsson, Tippett could be a piece going out to make the cap number work. But let's assume that Tippett stays. I'd put Tippett with Zegras as well. I think I put Martone with Carlsson. I'd want to see how they work. I think that's the future first line of this team, Carlsson and Martone. And I like keeping Tippett on the right side because he seemed more comfortable there. Then let's say Konechny as the left wing with Martone and Carlsson. And then let's say Tyson Forster as the left wing with Zegras and Tippett.
Nice dream. It's a good dream.
It is.
It is. Now we just
You
got to
got to move
down.
Tippett so that
Yeah,
you got
you gotta-
Michkov on that right side.
Yeah, we got to get Michkov up on one of these top 2 lines.
That's why they tried to play him on the left side. Oh, you play him. Well, they were
Throw
trying,
Martone on the left side.
they were trying to work that out. Taking a shot, see if it could fit.
Yeah, I don't think Michkov will be on the top 2 lines to start the year. Now, if he comes to camp in great shape,
Well, that's
and
the hope.
if he takes the leap, I think he'll make his way up to those top 2 lines very quickly. I hope he does at least, but I don't think he'll start the year on the top 2 lines.
Now, and again, if he comes in dialed in, that's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope because now all of a sudden, then you start to look at those top 2 lines. You go, they're impressive, right?
Yeah.
So, Charlie, this is obviously a big swing by the Flyers and different than what we've seen them do over the last, few years. And with Danny Briere, coming into the GM, what do you think this communicates to the league overall, to others, about what the Flyers are looking to do and how seriously they should be taken?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing it does is it sends a message to players because my understanding, and I know a lot of fans didn't believe this because a lot of fans are just like, well, I need to see it with my own 2 eyes, which I get. But in league circles, it's been known for a while that the Flyers are willing to open up the checkbook. The guy I had heard was a big target prior to him re-upping at the start of last season was Kirill Kaprizov. People in league circles know that the reason why Kirill Kaprizov got paid like the best, highest paid player in the league at the start of last season was not because Bill Guerin is in the habit of giving out big contracts for fun. It was because he knew the Flyers were going to offer him an insane amount of money, and probably through back channels, they made it clear to Kaprizov. So they gave Kaprizov that contract to protect against the possibility of the Flyers, holding that over their heads. So in league circles, it's been well known that the Flyers are willing to spend. What I don't think was as well known was in player circles. Now, maybe players were told by their agents, like, oh, why don't you consider the Flyers? They got a lot of money they're willing to spend. But there's something different about players actually seeing it happen as opposed to just being told by your agent, once every couple of months when you're talking about potential teams you'd be willing to sign with. There's something different about seeing the Flyers become the main character of NHL discourse because of how much money they're willing to spend on an offer sheet that is different from just hearing it from your agent. So I think the big thing this probably helps the Flyers in is it helps their perception among other players who maybe at some point down the road may want to change teams, may want to get a big payday. I think this sends a message to them that, like, hey, if my team is treating me what I believe to be unfairly from a financial standpoint, maybe I can ask my agent to give Danny Briere a call and see what the Flyers can do. Because clearly the Flyers, and again, I think we all knew this, but like we knew that like Comcast money is a big deal and that the Flyers had a blank check. But now everyone knows that the Flyers have a blank check. Like, as I said, like $85 million in bonuses. Like, there aren't many organizations that are going to get, like, aren't many GMs that are going to get approval from their owners to give out a contract like that, because most owners are going to be like, no, that's insane. Comcast is not one of those ownership groups. They're like, hey, is it going to make us a winning team? Okay, do whatever you need to do to get them. And that's a rarity, and that's something the Flyers have. That's an inherent advantage the Flyers organization has over a lot of other organizations that potentially down the road, even if this doesn't work, could help the Flyers get a big star.
Hey, Charlie, I think it was Elliot Friedman, maybe, since it all went down. He may mention that this may not sit well with other owners and GMs the way they came in with this offer sheet. Do you get a sense of that?
Yeah, well, they're just gonna have to deal with it. I honestly, like I'll be honest with you. I hate that discourse. It strikes me as such old boys club BS. It's like, you know what, guys? Guess what? This is a competitive league. And if it annoys you that someone else is playing within the rules to try to make their team better, then maybe you should get another job. Go be a general manager of an ECHL team. Like that discourse, and it's always annoyed me. It's always annoyed me that, like, oh, we're so scared that we're gonna piss off our friends. Like, no. This is ridiculous. Build a team and try to win. And if there are other owners that are annoyed with it, get over it.
Like it. He sounds like he's
Charlie!
We're going to become the Dodgers of the NHL.
Charlie! Best. Love that, man. That's what I want from you, man. I love it. Charlie, you're the greatest. You know what I love, too? That it's Anaheim. Isn't it great, this whole feud that we have with Anaheim? And that stinking Cutter.
It is good for the optics. It's obviously, I mean, look, there's no way that Pat Verbeek, I mean, his nickname was Little Ball of Hate when he played. Like, he's got to be so mad at Danny Briere right now. Like, and these two organizations, like, it was more of a fan thing. Like, these two organizations made multiple trades.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be seeing the Flyers and Ducks making trades anytime soon.
Yeah.
Pat Verbeek is going to block Danny Briere's number once this whole thing's done. But hey, again,
that's fantastic.
Briere's got to do what's best for his team, and this is an avenue to get the 1C that the Flyers so desperately need. Now, again, most likely Anaheim is going to match. That was my thought 3 weeks ago when this idea was first brought up to me as a possibility. It was like, well, they could, but like Anaheim's going to match. I still think Anaheim's probably going to match, but there's at least a chance they don't. This is, I think, a bigger contract than Verbeek ever thought someone would offer sheet Leo Carlsson to. So there is a chance.
You think they could use the picks and then go get Pettersson to replace Leo?
Well, I mean, maybe. But so the thing with Pettersson that you got to understand is that the view of Pettersson in fan and online circles is much higher than the view of Pettersson in league circles. He is not viewed highly. He is viewed as a player with an awful contract who a lot of people in the league don't believe you can win with, that he just doesn't have the attitude that you can win with. Like, yes, they could absolutely get Elias Pettersson with one of those first-round picks if they really want to, because to be quite honest with you, I don't think it would cost that much to get Elias Pettersson, given what I know about the way Elias Pettersson is viewed in league. Now, if you wanted Vancouver to retain a lot of money, like if you wanted Vancouver to turn that $11 million cap it into a $7 million cap it, then it'll cost you. But if somebody called up Vancouver and was like, I'll take all of Elias Pettersson's contract, like, I think they would do that for a first-round pick easy. Like
Wow.
it would not cost that much because it is that is a bad contract. That contract is viewed very poorly in league circles.
Interesting. Child, great job, man. What time? So when you think we'll find out? You think we'll find out Friday or before?
Well, I mean, if Anaheim wants to, if Anaheim has decided that they are going to match this regardless, if they want to make life as difficult as possible for the Flyers, they will wait until Friday because that means the Flyers then are stuck in limbo for a full week. And who knows? Like, I know the Flyers are interested in Claude Giroux. What if by Wednesday, Claude Giroux's like, I'm sick of waiting. I'm going to go sign back with Ottawa. And then they lose Claude Giroux because Anaheim waited until Friday to tell them, by the way, we're matching the offer sheet. So if Anaheim wants to jerk the Flyers around as much as possible, they'll wait until Friday. If they aren't matching, I don't know. Maybe they make that decision a few days early. Maybe they let them know on Tuesday or Wednesday. They let the league know, hey, we're matching. Or if the reason why they're not matching is because they find ways to trade those first-round picks for other pieces, then it probably gets announced early because they're going to want to lock those trades down as quickly as possible, and you can't do those trades until you officially say we're not matching the offer sheet. Now we have the picks. So there's a lot of moving parts here. Like, let me put it this way. Anthony. Like, I've cleared my week because I don't know when this is going to be resolved. At any point of the day, I could find out that this is being resolved, and then I'm going to be working for the next 6 hours. So like, I don't know. I wish I knew because then I could like go out to dinner or go out to the bar, but like I can't because like this could be resolved at literally any time.
Clear it, baby. Let's go. Love it. Chow, you're the best, buddy. Thank you as always. We'll be bugging you this week. You know that.
All right. See you guys.
See you, pal.
Hey,
Charlie O.
That's on
Talking
fire
tough.
today.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like when Charlie O talks tough.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah.
Also,
I hate that narrative.
I know that was the best. Also, when he was like, Verbeek's nickname when he played was Little Ball of Hate. Like
Yeah.
that, what a nugget.
That's great.
That's a good one.
Little ball of hate.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't make me feel good. Like that makes me feel like they're gonna drag this house.
Yeah.
Like if that's your nickname, like
Yeah.
the answer to this is he's gonna hold out as long as possible before telling the Flyers what they're doing.
Yes.
So let's as much, Charlie. You probably can go do something Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes. All right, let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about something you like. Something that actually rewards the way you already spend your money. That's exactly what you get with the Everyday Elite Visa credit card from TrueMark Credit Union. How about this? We're talking up to 4% cash back on eligible everyday purchases, including gas. And for a limited time, new cardholders also get a 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months. Then 17.99% APR after that. It's more cash back, less catch. Apply today, TrueMark.com, or stop by any of the TrueMark Credit Union's 24 branch locations. Gas, food, stuff that you'd already spent. Get your money back. Rates based on credit worthiness, 4% cash back on eligible purchases. Bonus categories capped annually. Restrictions apply. Visit TrueMark.com for details. Insured by the NCUA.
Let's talk about Ace Hardware Home Services. They're so important this time of year. Heat and humidity sneaking in. The AC might not be cranking like it should. And temperatures are changing. It's getting warmer, so don't worry. If you got issues, Ace Hardware Home Services, they got you covered. From AC repairs to water heaters, plumbing, electrical, they're trusted pros that bring the same helpful service you know from the Ace stores right to your home, right to your front door, from Philly to the Jersey Shore. And it's important. They got the right people. They bring the right tools, the right know-how. They got everything you need. So whether it's a quick fix or a big summer project, they've got all the tools. They've got the know-how. Then the people to get the job done right. You see their trucks all around town. All your neighbors are using them. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing the helpful to your home. It's that helpful you love from the store right to your home. So visit acehardwarehomeservices.com today to get started on your next home repair project.
Who do you hate more, Belgium or Anaheim?
A question that's never been asked in the history, in human history. Like, I mean, I don't live with hate in my heart.
It's sports hate, you know. I mean, come on.
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hate the Belgium. Great country, Belgium. Great food.
Shut up.
Great beer. Great food.
Stop.
It does have some good stuff going for it.
Oh, stop.
Mhm.
Oh, great country. It's overrated.
Baguette. Ooh. Belgian baguette. Better than Paris baguette.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
That's a stupid take.
That's a
Absolutely.
take.
It's a dumb
Just
take.
for a
Can I tell you, you haven't spent enough time in Belgium. Huh?
Yeah.
I have.
Well, you need to get the right baguettes because they're phenomenal.
Obviously, you've been to Paris and had the right baguettes in Paris.
I've had.
You had nothing in Paris.
Belgium baguette.
We like
greater
the
than Tyrese.
It's a town. It's a city that's Brussels that's known for a baby peeing out as a fountain.
Oh, that's a great fountain.
It's a weak fountain.
Adorable.
It's not adorable.
Yeah, right.
Massimo P. I was calling it.
Oh Lord.
This whole area is full of that statue just peeing on a Dallas Cowboy star, basically.
No, it's stupid.
Yeah, we love that statue here.
It's stupid. Not the love statue.
No, of course not.
It's weak, you sympathizer.
Oh, stop.
I'm going to check your USA card tonight.
A La Chouffe on the way home today.
Good.
I'll drink a great, nice Belgian as the U.S. stomps on them.
I'll do a Miller Lite then. How about that? All right, you traitor, you. I hate him. I got to tell you, I'm annoyed by this whole thing.
Oh, I can tell. I mean, I wasn't expecting this level of
Belgian hate.
Belgian hate at all. That did not have that on this morning's bingo card.
Well, I mean, talk about a crybaby.
I get it.
You're supposed to be. You call them exactly what they are. They're a blue blood. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a blue blood country that's whining. It's so bad.
I hear you.
You can't the host countries, White House people.
Yeah,
so what?
Make a call. It looks bad.
Wait a second.
So what?
Do you?
By the way, it was wrong. The whole thing was wrong.
It should have worked out without power brokers involved.
Correct.
It should have worked out.
Correct.
Yes, that's
right
all.
outcome.
But Meg said
bad
it.
process.
Meg made it happen.
Yes, I believe that. I'm all team Meg making it happen.
No say.
Gallagher's playing because Meg.
Yeah,
Meg got into FIFA's ear.
Just like, listen, we got to make this. We got to fix this.
Thank you, Meg.
Yeah, no problem.
You talked to the president.
I did no such thing.
And then president of FIFA.
I think we're really, really kind of taking what we think whatever power you think I have, and really expanding it beyond.
What's the president of FIFA's name?
Gianni Infantino.
Right. So what was it? Saturday. He goes, I have a message, and he sent the trophy.
Oh yeah.
To the. You want to talk about the height? Like, he makes Roger Goodell look like just a regular dude. My God, this guy's self-importance.
Yeah, it is. He is quite a character.
Where's he from? Milan?
He's from. I think he is actually from Switzerland. But,
okay.
I think he's actually Swiss.
He's Swiss?
Yeah.
With the Italian last name?
Yes.
I knew it was a northerner.
Yes.
He doesn't have the warmth of the southerner.
Is that
the southern Italians? Yes.
Yes.
They're known for their
warmth.
The warmth.
Yeah, you can't tell our warmth.
I feel so much warmth.
Well, not him.
Especially when you guys are yelling at each other.
Well, the count.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. The one thing we do love is Love Philly. Our Love Philly hour begins now. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. It's not just the title Love Philly, it's a feeling. It's a heartbeat. A city that never asked for permission to be itself. That's us, right? That's our personality. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. And now in 2026, the world comes back to Philadelphia. Not just to remember, but to celebrate. The show isn't just about what's happening. It's about who we are while it's happening. Because Philadelphia isn't a backdrop. It's a character. It's the voice that tells it like it is. The guy at the end of the bar who doesn't sugarcoat a thing. It's the family that's been on the same block for generations. It's the artist, the athlete, the builder, the believer. It's the lifer, the dreamers, the grinders. It's all of us. And that's what Love Philly's about. We're going to sit with people that make this place go. The ones who built it, the ones carrying it, the ones pushing it forward. The legends who left their mark. Not just the championships, not just the headlines, but the moments in between. The way the city shows up for itself, the way it refuses to be anything other than real. And through it all, we're going to remind ourselves and show the world what Philadelphia is. It's not just a stereotype. It's not a punchline. It's a foundation. It's a force. It's a city that gave birth to a nation and never stopped building. So as the country turns 250 and the spotlight finds Philadelphia again, this is our moment to tell the story the right way. Not polished, not filtered, real, authentic, proud. Because this city just doesn't rise to the occasion. It defines it. This is Love Philly. All right, thanks to Wawa. Love Philly. Philly loves Wawa. Wawa loves Philly. And we appreciate it as we're having some fun here with Meg. Huge match tonight. Obviously, monster. You said it, like all the consternation about Balogun and, whatever, how he plays, doesn't play, the whole thing, he's going to play. You got to win.
Got to win.
Like, there is such huge momentum.
They're first off, for the U.S. men's national team to kind of have captured the imagination of the country at a time where there's so much debate about like we don't do soccer here. Like they've got the attention. The spotlight is on them. This is their opportunity for the men's team to step out of the shadow of the women's team, which has been good for so long. And even I think we're all getting flash flood alerts.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, gang. Watch
Flash
out.
flood,
Don't
baby.
be dry. If you don't need to travel, don't travel.
No.
Stay home. Don't drive through water. Just helpful hints from all of us here. But I would say that as much as we're focusing on Balogun, I think tonight and the moment belongs to Pulisic. This is his moment to step up. Captain America, right? Like he's been the face of, American soccer. He's, been in the conversation. He's certainly not in the Mbappe, Haaland, Messi conversation, but next tier down. And I think he hasn't scored a goal yet for the United States. Like this is the moment, right? This is his moment to do that, and to put the team on his back and to win. And that's, if they win tonight, that will be, this all will go away.
It's a great point. It really is. It all goes away. They win. And listen, Belgium is a legitimate,
very legitimate,
right? Like it's their best team that they're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
All due respect to Paraguay.
Right. I mean, this is the best team that they have seen on paper, on field, since the beginning of the tournament. And they need a signature win. The way that they took out Paraguay, the way that they they kind of cruised through that group stage, right? They played a really, last week in San Francisco, played well, but could have, there were some near misses, but they pulled that match out. And again, I mean, they played 35 minutes down a man. That was, I mean, that cannot, I think sometimes people forget that is like, to your point, you said this earlier in the show, it's like being on power play it's like giving the other team a power play for a half, right? And so I think they got to play really disciplined tonight. I think they've got to stay true to being, playing on that front foot, being aggressive, leveraging their speed against an older team.
You've got all the verbiage down. Got to play on the front foot.
Play on the front foot. 6 years into this, I hope I've picked up a few good nuggets.
So when you did this,
verbiage.
I'm curious.
Beyond to calling it a pitch.
What level of soccer fandom were you at before the project?
0. Like I would watch the World Cup,
Right.
but I didn't certainly appreciate it
Right.
the way that I do now. And I certainly didn't know the sport as well as I do now. And I wouldn't even say that I know it well. That would be, as you would say, very fugazi of me. I recognize my limitations and still, a lot to learn. But planning something like this and paying attention to a different sport for 6
How
years.
did it be fun? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was a really and
Did you
it's-
dive into it? Like, do you go, all right, now I'm gonna start watch. I need to start watching Premier League
No,
matches.
I didn't do that. I started it because, I started by paying attention to what was happening with the union locally, and then kind of following kind of like FIFA operations, right? And like when they were having tournaments. And of course, like it really changed for me after we won the bid, because we then went to Qatar, and seeing a World Cup in person completely changed my understanding and expectation of what the World Cup is. Like even though it was Qatar, even though it was in one city, even though it was, a very different, it was in December, right? It's still, I don't know that, I've said this on the show over the course of the last 6 months, you just don't appreciate it until it happens. Like, and we could never have prepared the fan base or the city enough for what it was going to be like, feel like, that the fans, when we said like the fans will come, like the fans came.
Right.
I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
We're already north of 400,000 at FanFest for this. If you had told me that we would have more than 400,000 people through FanFest and still have the biggest matches of the tournament to play, where then,
Right.
I would have been stunned.
No, but I think your messaging was really important, which is, hey, let's not disappear for the summer, right? Let's embrace this thing. I think Philadelphians really embraced it. Listen, I think the whole country,
Absolutely.
the whole country kind of fell in love with the thing. And you can never tell, but I think
I never thought Kansas City would be a great soccer city.
Kansas City's a great city,
And it's
great
been
host.
one of the
Like
videos
Seattle,
you see
you knew
coming
Seattle
out.
is
Yeah,
already
you see the
strong.
videos coming out of Kansas City. It's like, wow, mind-boggling.
Right, you see Houston,
Yeah.
right? Another city that I think that when you saw the way the fans, the connections that the fans made and how they treated the cities that they were coming to as, not just hosts, but as like part of their story. This is part of the journey,
yeah.
right? There's nothing that Philadelphians love than people who aren't from here who
Embrace
us.
Yeah.
So, and I think that when you start, when we look back on it, and there's going to be a lot of time to look back on all of the things that have happened, but to your point, this marriage of one, what Philadelphia embraced, how they embraced the World Cup, and how the fans embraced Philadelphia, coupled with the U.S. men's national team having a real personality. They have they are a real team with players,
Team identity.
a team identity that have and that they are extraordinarily likable. They're like likable. You can tell they're like, there's something that they've got.
Oh, they got
something.
it.
They got it. They got
Coach,
it.
like you said, the coach is legit.
Coach is legit. Yeah. And it's and the thing is that the country the country needed this moment and needs them as much as, I think that like they needed everyone to be on board with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scott Van Pelt basically gave, sports build churches last night on
Everybody stole it.
Everybody stole it. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's the thing, like what unifies, and it's sports, right? And that's I think what has been felt, that no matter what the Philadelphia Citizen wrote a great piece about this, that, no matter how conflicted you may have felt about some of the, coming into 250 and things like this World Cup made everyone sort of be like, let's go get a beer.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a great country. Oh, like we got, and
Well,
people
that's the beauty of
remembering
it. Like
us.
the beauty of it is like this celebration of America. The fact that sometimes you need somebody else's eye to make you appreciate what you have.
Absolutely.
And you could see it. Like when all these people came to this country and were like, wow, America's awesome. Like we love it. We love the people. We love the culture. And it makes you feel prideful.
Absolutely. But I think that's also where, if I can put a plug in for the host cities, all 16 of us, but specifically the 11 U.S., there was a real commitment from every organization that was hosting a World Cup match that we had to elevate our cities, that we had to make our city experience the best it could possibly be. But we never forgot that we were hosting, that we were the representatives of the country, that we were hosting that we were hosting a national event.
Yeah.
And so because there was always that understanding and that commitment from every host committee across the 11, like we are 11 U.S. cities, and we all have our distinct experiences, and the fans will have different experiences in each one. At the end of the day, if something happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. And so how do we make sure that we did the work together to
that's
and
beautiful.
we still have there's still more of the tournament to come, but that is the focus, and it's about supporting the cities that are still hosting, whether it's Kansas City or Seattle. I mean, we're texting each other, kudos and congratulations, and keep up the good work, and carry this. Like we need, like everybody's counting on Peter Tomazawa and April Putney in Seattle and saying like, you guys got this. Right. They're sending us videos of fans that were already out streaming the streets yesterday in Seattle. Like the baton just keeps getting passed. And as our matches end, it doesn't mean that our engagement ends as a city. That's why FanFest remains open, so that we can cheer this on, because it's a national moment.
Yeah, it is.
Did you guys have calls during as it was starting up, like, oh, this is what we saw, we didn't expect, and like trying to help each other out about things that maybe you didn't expect to pop up? Or
Yeah, I think every host city has a group of executives that has been either in group contact or going back and forth. So I think that the police departments have been really good. They have been the ones that have been kind of identifying like different fan behaviors, different like how this march went, what they could learn from here, like what we expected from one fan base versus another. Like I think there's been a lot of communication among law enforcement, which I think has made a lot of this very seamless. I know that from the CEO, the host city CEO perspective, ours is definitely like sending different videos, like kind of almost like making sure that everybody was like appreciating the spirit of like what everybody was doing, like sending something that would just be like, hey, Chris Canetti, Houston looks amazing. Alina Hudak in Miami, the Tartan Army, protect them at all costs. Like, right. Like, there's that kind of camaraderie, New York, New Jersey, back and forth, the San Francisco Bay, like it's been a really wonderful experience to see how committed everybody has been to the whole. And that I think that's what the spirit is coming down the home stretch. And that's why, like, if the U.S. men's national team can get themselves to the Friday quarterfinal, like that's a dream. Like that's a dream.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
Yeah, if you can get to the quarterfinal, oh my God.
I mean, David. I mean, they'll play in Los Angeles on Friday. Friday, I think.
Yeah, you get Spain, the winner of Spain and Portugal, probably Spain.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would expect. But that's really, at that point, if you said to everybody 2 years ago, look, we're going to do this, and the U.S. men's national team is going to make it to the last 8 of a 64 team, tour, a 48 team tournament, right? Like we would have been like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why tonight's such a big deal.
Are you kidding me? It's a huge whole thing, man. But it's been, and I want to talk about the impact of this sport going forward a little bit later in the hour, because you got Murph coming up. And, but I've already sensed fans, like my buddy Boo's, like all about it. Like he never would even think about soccer.
No.
And it like, I'm looking at my friends. Tooch has always kind of liked it. Mm-hmm. But like my buddy Boo was like loving it, like following it, didn't know anything about it before the tournament.
I think what's so interesting too is, it's actually been really fun to watch. Like, you see people who are like, I'm going to be in like grief counseling after the World Cup is over, like because it's made people feel so good. They're like sports are on all the time. It's been great. It's been an amazing bridge, if you will, that's been running concurrently with baseball. That's made it a little bit different, but like there's just been a lot of activity around it. But I've loved following Kirk Herbstreit on Twitter because he has, I think, I think he was very honest. Like, I didn't expect to enjoy this. I'm not a soccer guy. And having watched his progression, and I think he's asking like really smart questions. Like, who should I be watching? Like, what teams should I be thinking about? Like, who are the players that maybe like are under the radar? Like, he's coming at it from a real analyst perspective, which I appreciate because I think he's one of the best. I think
I'm a huge Herbie fan.
I am too. I think he's one of the best.
I love him.
And I just think like watching him kind of like figuring out like how he's going to keep this fandom, like that's the cool part because you're watching adults who are like, I'm being converted.
Yeah.
Like where soccer grew and exploded in '94 was youth.
Yep.
That's where it was. It was like it was kids, right? But now you're seeing like an adult fan or someone who's like soccer, like I'm not really into this, being like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And whether they decide to dive in on a Premier League team, whether they whether they decide to dive in on the Philadelphia Union, or whether in 4 years they're just like going to be like, the World Cup is awesome and I'm going to watch. This is now like, it's like the Olympics for me and I'm a part of that. That's great. That's growing the game.
Yeah.
And there is another generation of youth.
Yeah.
And there's another generation of youth that are going to come up and they are going to remember this team. Yeah. They're going to remember, Pulisic and Flo and Aronson and Trusty, and they're going to remember the local guys, especially here, who are going to be heroes.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, we're going to take a quick TO. We come back. It's a Murphy Monday. The great columnist from the Inquirer, David Murphy, will join us. A lot of Sixers. Wrote a real good Sixer piece. A lot of fun. First, a word from our friends. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app and the World Soccer Hub. All right, you got your plays today? You and Tooch have been going at it all tournament long. What do you got?
Early game, I'm going to go under 2.5 goals total and a Spain clean sheet.
Ooh.
Spain?
I don't think they've given up a goal yet, have they?
Spain clean sheet. And so you're smelling a 2-0 Spain victory.
Exactly.
And then tonight, what do you think? Besides USA,
I'm just going USA.
Yeah, but do they win? They score. Is there goals?
I'm going to go over 2.5. I think they'll score. Belgium was not great the first two games. Then they turned it on. They put up 5 in the last group round. They beat a good Senegal team 3-2. So yeah, I'd go. I'm probably going to lean over tonight.
There you go. All right, check it out on the app. Always a lot of fun. You're going to be betparks.com has all the details, all the bonuses you get when you sign up. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Xfinity because the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee is here. What better way to get the Wi-Fi you need than with Xfinity? You get their incredible equipment, no annual contracts, there's no hidden fees. It's just Wi-Fi that you need, that you can depend on. Super intelligent Wi-Fi. I know I have it in my house. I got the one kid is up playing the show in his room. The other one's down in the basement playing some weird video game. My wife's doing Italian, and I'm watching sports. That's kind of how the house works, but it works in perfect harmony. A lot changes in 5 years. Records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity.
Imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Now, joining us, Murph.
Murphy, it's time for our man, David Murphy.
Oh, top of the morning to you, Murph.
Morning.
We
got the mute button.
You got me. I thought you were muted.
You made a lot of progress on filling up that bookshelf back there.
Yeah, we're getting that.
Yeah, looking good.
What is the thing behind you? It's like it looks like there's a flag and like a postcard. Like it's.
That's this is the most random smattering of just it's literally just stuff that was in a drawer. This is actually a I think it's a picture of my elementary school. I have no idea where it came from.
Okay.
And then these are some books that were passed down to me for whenever Max gets to the point where he can read. But they have no significance whatsoever. They literally were just put there because that was the first box I opened.
Fantastic. Makes total sense.
I wish I had a better story. Like I could have told you that this was like the first edition of Huckleberry Finn. But no, I don't even know what. Yeah. There's probably a Hardy Boys book in there. Who knows?
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys.
That's great.
Thought about them in a while.
Let's talk about it because you wrote it. You've been covering the Sixers stuff. This Jaylen Brown, what Gansey's done, it's unbelievable that he's turned this franchise around in like 38 days. I mean, it's incredible. The fact that he's been here this short a period of time and he fixed all of Morey's mistakes.
Well, I don't know if I would say so. I actually think Daryl Morey probably deserves a little more credit. I mean, a lot of what he's done is I'm not sure Daryl Morey would have done everything differently, and frankly, I think a lot of what he's done has kind of justified Morey a little bit. I mean, we all thought they weren't going to be able to get off the Paul George contract, and they did. What? I mean,
it's a stroke of luck. I mean, you look at it and go, like, I'm not giving Morey credit because somehow the Celtics were able to get for some idea, lobotomized or not, Brad Stevens wanted Paul George. All right.
Well, I don't know. So this is where like you got to clear your prior biases a little bit, because you can't give Gansey credit for trading Paul George, make fun of Brad Stevens for wanting Paul George, but then say Daryl Morey gets
Would you have made the trade? Would you have done it?
Would I have Boston? Done it if I were the Celtics?
Yeah.
Be
honest. No, you wouldn't have.
No, I would have. I'm more surprised that. I mean, and if you really want to get into it, like I can lay out a very compelling argument, for why the Celtics did what they did. I think that, look.
Is it compelling or is it, hey, I know he's not an analytic darling. I read all the nonsense.
So here's the question. Why did 29 other teams not beat the deal?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
So you can't blame the Celtics. They want.
I can. I can say it was a bad trade. I can look at it and go, yeah, that's not a good trade.
It was a bad trade because 29 other teams didn't beat the offer.
I don't know. I wasn't in the room, dude. I don't know. I wasn't talking to all the other GMs. How do I know that maybe they liked player X and I didn't like the picks? I don't know what they got offered.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that it's a great trade for the Sixers, and they're very fortunate that this was the price. I think the Celtics were probably a little startled that nobody beat it, but they didn't. And they had gotten to a point where they had decided that Jaylen Brown was going to get traded, and they traded him. And I'm very interested to hear what they have to say. I think history will look at it. I think there's a far more likelihood that history will look at it as a fair trade than as a, look, I hear all this talk about Walker Kessler getting more than Jaylen Brown. You got to keep in mind, the NBA lottery odds are changing right now, right? And if you were to look, if you're a team like the Celtics, who your number one goal is to get a lottery pick, right? Like, who cares if you get 4 first-round picks and they all end up 26, 27, 28, 29? That's what the Mikal Bridges picks have ended up as. That's what the Durant picks have ended up as. That's what the Rudy Gobert picks have ended up as. That Celtics pick, I had somebody in the Sixers organization earlier this year tell me that Clippers pick is going to be one of the most valuable draft assets in the league on the new lottery odds, because the Clippers are the one team, if you were to list them 1 through 30 of teams that in 2028 you think are probably going to get 3 balls in the lottery, it's the Clippers, because they're not going to be one of the 3 worst teams, but they're also not going to be in the playoffs. You can go down right now and list 10 teams in the Western Conference that have dramatically better playoff odds, and probably 8 of those teams you would say there's no possible way the Clippers overtake them. So if you actually look at it, what would it take to trade for a guaranteed lottery pick with a chance, there's as good a chance as anybody else at the number 1 overall pick? And I'll tell you what, no team is trading that for 4, heavily protected first round picks, or 4 picks from pick a team at the Thunder, who are guaranteed to be picking between 26 and 30 probably for the next 2 years. I'm just saying, I think the reaction to the trade has gone a little overboard. And I can see what the Celtics are thinking, put it that way. And I spent a lot of time, because I was stunned by the return, but I spent a lot of time this weekend kind of trying to figure out what the Celtics were thinking, and I think I kind of get it, and I see what they were thinking. I think the Sixers were just happened to be in a very fortunate position. I'm
even beyond the Brown, I look at it and I look at what he's done with the roster. I love Simons. You got real scoring off the bench. I like the Dean Wade move. I could see Gansey's vision.
He's been great.
It looks like a real team.
It's stunning. All I was saying is you led into it by saying he undid all of Morey's mistakes. And I don't necessarily getting off that Paul George contract, I didn't think they were going to be able to do it. I thought they were going to have to attach a first round pick just to get off it, which makes the return even better. And if there's one aspect of the Celtics trade where I say I wouldn't do it, is I don't think I would take Paul George. That's the one aspect where I'm stunned that they were willing to do it. But I also think things had gotten to a place behind the scenes, obviously, where they knew they needed to trade Jaylen Brown. And frankly, I think they might be, there might be a pathway to being better without Jaylen Brown. I don't know. I don't agree with that necessarily. But if you look at Tatum's number, the Celtics have actually been better over the last 2 years with Tatum on the court.
They won a title together. So,
I'm not, but
if you win a title together, I don't know how much better you can be if you're together. That's all.
Look, all I'm saying is what the numbers say. Like when you sit down and add
the numbers. Did they win a title? Yes, they won a title together.
Yeah. You know how you win a title? There's 2 numbers on the scoreboard. There's points for this team and there's points for that team, and you win a title by scoring more points.
And
than
the 2 of them together won a title.
Right, and all I'm saying is the wild thing is when you look at it, I'm just telling you what the numbers are saying. Like you can argue with the numbers all you want. They're just the numbers.
Whatever.
It's interesting
I'm
to
just
look
giving
at.
you what they look at. I'm just giving you they won a title together. That's all. I think they're better. I think they were better. They obviously had success together. That's my only point.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is the last time, and here's the other thing, the last time I saw Philadelphia in this big of a victory lap about getting one over on the Celtics was when they traded up to draft Markelle Fultz. And all I'm saying is, when you've got a guy like Brad Stevens and an organization like the Celtics and a coach like Joe,
remember back then, real quick. If you remember like that, it was Danny Ainge, and you were like, "Ooh,
yeah."
Nobody was doing a victory lap. We were like, "All right," but
that's revisionist. That's 100% revisionist.
One of us was on the air, talk to fans all day long, and I'll tell you that it wasn't like that. That's not true. That people were like, "I don't know about Fultz." I talked to people. They were like,
all right.
And Danny Ainge. I'm just giving you the other side of it, dude.
Mike Gaskin and his podcast went on a week-long revenge tour on anybody who ever doubted the process. We have different memories of that time. But whatever the case, has Brad Stevens garnered as much benefit of the doubt as Danny Ainge as an executive? Of course not. But organization tends to know what they're doing, and there's new ownership. So yeah, but I'm just saying it's I don't think for the Sixers, there's 2 different issues here. For the Sixers, it's a no-brainer of a trade. Don't get that wrong. Like it's a great trade. Everything he's done is great. I'm just interested to see how it works out for the Celtics. I think that they, somebody always knows something, and I'll be interested to see what their plan is.
Well, I don't think. I don't believe they traded him because the analytics and the numbers say they're better without him. I think this came down to more so they offered him in the Giannis trade, and they didn't take it, and he wasn't happy about being dangled out there for trade rumors. And I don't think he wanted to. He didn't officially ask for a trade, but it seems like he didn't want to go back to the Celtics.
Yeah, see, I think that's a mystery to the situation. Everybody reads it that way, but there's been talk all season. There was talk about Jaylen Brown for the past couple of years. There's been, and I know this because it always struck me as odd. I'm like, well, I love Jaylen Brown. You know, I'm like, why would the Celtics be thinking about this? Was before Giannis, way before Giannis. You know, there was talk about his extension at some point before they offered him in a trade to Giannis, and he said something really weird at a press conference. And it made big headlines. You know, that was before. And so I think we're getting the chicken before the egg, or the egg before the chicken, or the horse, whatever, the horse before the cart. You know, I think that they offered him in the Giannis trade because, you know, frankly, it wouldn't make sense to trade him for Giannis either. You know, you know, they won a title with this guy. He led them to 52 wins or whatever. You know, I think that was part of, okay, we're going to move on from Jaylen Brown. How do we do it? And the Giannis thing happened to be plan A, and you know, plan B was, well, I guess we'll just have to give him to the Sixers for next to nothing. Yeah, like I'm not disagreeing with anything. I think that I just think the framing of it has been like, there's just been factually incorrect framing of it. Like the whole idea that, you know, the tension between the Celtics and Jaylen Brown only arose because of the Giannis deal just isn't true. I mean, it's been lingering there for at least 2 seasons. And, you know, it frankly, again, came out in the open this season when somebody asked him about signing an extension in Boston. And he said something to the effect of, like, it's not up to me. You know, I think he had gotten the read that they were already, you know, now, I don't know what the exact rationale is. I don't, you know, I'm not in the team meetings. We're not in the film room. We don't know what the dynamics are in the locker room. All I'm saying is what to, and it's like, forget the word analytics. Like, this isn't like PhD level math. It's literally just counting up the amount of points that were scored when one player was on the court and another player was on the court, and then one player was off the court. It's just simple addition. You know, it's the same thing as we do in the score of a game, you know, and I'm not telling you how to interpret those numbers. I'm just saying what they are. And I was surprised to see them. And as I looked at them, I was like, you know, it surprised me because I was stunned at the Celtics that was the return. But I was mostly stunned that no other team stepped up with an offer. Like, you know, I said after the playoffs, I thought the Spurs would be perfect. Like, I thought Jaylen Brown would be the perfect player. If you swapped Keldon Johnson out for Jaylen Brown, that team would have won this year, you know? I'm surprised a team like that, or a team like the Pelicans, who like have nothing else to lose and have a bunch of young talent that hasn't made sense at all. I'm surprised. You know, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised the Timberwolves didn't you know, go out and trade Naz Reid and all those picks for Jaylen Brown instead of LaMelo Ball. You know, I think those are the teams that, to me, deserve more scoring, I think, than the Celtics. The Celtics were just taking.
All right, let's talk about LeBron, because you did a comment about LeBron. It's interesting. And the concept of LeBron coming here. Now, I'm with you. I think in the end, the story ends in Cleveland, right? Like, the story begins in Ohio, hometown kid, goes through the league, and probably ends in Cleveland. That's how the story would usually end. If you're going to write the story, he's a story guy, that's how it would probably end. The other thing is, though, you know, I mean, you could argue that if not Cleveland, then Philadelphia's the next best place.
Well, yeah, and the other thing about Cleveland is, like, it wouldn't stun me if this was kind of the genesis of all of the kind of deliberation that's going on right now with them, is like, does he really want to play with James Harden? Like, do you really want to play with James Harden for the last year of your career?
That's obviously, you do a PowerPoint presentation of him just getting shredded on defense, like play after play. It's like, is that what you want?
Well, just like the dribbling and the, you know, it's like, whatever, however you feel about, and I've always felt this way about Harden to a certain degree, where he's just like, if you've got a choice to play with Steph Curry versus James Harden, like, and you're a fan of pure basketball, which LeBron is, say what you will about him, like, he's a hoop head. He's a pure basketball player. He's a
yes,
for all the physical dominance, he is a smart
high
just
IQ,
a ball player, you know?
yes,
yeah, and do you really want to stand
No,
around?
that's
the
a
corner
great
while-
point. It's a great point. It's true. That is a
And I
great
wonder-
point.
Part of me wonders if I don't think Harden. I think Harden. I know Harden opted out. I don't think that have they come to a new contract?
I don't know. I'm
I
not
don't
sure,
think they
but
have.
I think he's
But-
coming back. So whatever. To your point.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's kind of LeBron's. LeBron has always been one to leverage his contract status with being able to shape the team around him. So part of me
Right,
wonders
but
if,
he's got. But now he doesn't. That ship's passed. Like he's just going to be.
which is
able to-
why
Yeah.
which is why I'm actually a little bit skeptical of Cleveland, because if he's talking about quote unquote basketball bliss, which is kind of the phrase that I don't know if he said it or Rich Paul said it or what, but like it would be much more blissful to spend a year playing alongside Nikola Jokic or Steph Curry than it would be playing alongside James Harden, especially at this stage of James Harden's career, and you can kind of, I've actually been thinking about this a lot more, and I've almost like talked myself into like ruling Cleveland out, because if you go back to Cleveland and you don't win, or you're a massive disappointment, which James Harden teams always seem to be, what have you actually accomplished instead of going out like he did on top the last time? And I wonder if how much that plays into it, and
Yeah, I mean, listen,
that's why I think-
you could make a basketball argument for Philadelphia in the best play, right? You come here, you don't have to worry about shouldering the scoring load. Maxey's a joy to play with. You got Brown, again, two big scorers. You got a defender and VJ. There is a one big hole, and it's at the 4 spot. I mean, I like Dean Wade, but I like it better off the bench with LeBron starting. Next to Joel, like there's a lot of attractiveness about this team. I mean, there's a perfect donut for him, the hole for him to fill.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm interested to see how it plays out. I mean, look, if I was LeBron, I would go play in Golden State because I think that'd be fun as anything. And honestly, frankly, as great as it would be to see him here, almost as a pure basketball fan, I'd almost rather him go to Golden State because that would be a heck of a lot of fun to watch. Really? I don't know that
I don't. Yeah, you and I never see basketball but I don't think it would be fun watching them get drilled by OKC and the Spurs.
Well, they only play them.
It comes down to the playoffs, right? Like,
but I mean,
they're not going to beat those teams.
I hate to break it to you. The Sixers will get drilled by them too, I'm sure.
I mean, you can back to the finals. I don't know. We'll see. Knicks won.
Look, you're right. We see basketball differently. I like Steph Curry. Is to me has a better argument for one of the greatest of all time in that conversation than people give him credit for. And I think
this is not a referendum on Steph Curry's career because he's had an incredible career.
What I'm saying is I think they're two.
But right now,
I think both
at
are
their age,
still great. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. It would be, then you got Horford, you got potentially Jimmy Butler coming back. You got like Las Vegas, man. Like, I just think it would be. And then number two,
go ahead, Meg.
You actually want.
Talk to your
No,
yourself.
I was just gonna say, I was like, that feels like a very old team. As you laid that out,
It is
fun,
but that's kind of the. But I could see if I was LeBron, like I could see getting amped up. Like, all right, we just got swept by the Thunder, Golden State. What if we just all team forces and tried to go to the moon together? Like, whatever that movie was. Wasn't there one with all the old astronauts going to the moon?
I don't know, man. I missed that one, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, Google it. I guarantee it was a
I'm
movie.
sure
I think
there's
it was
a movie where astronauts went to the moon.
They've done old guys
I think-
rob a bank. They've done old guys.
So this is old guys winning
I
the
think-
NBA
I think-
championship.
Grumpy
That's
old
what-
men's soccer.
And that would be the Netflix. So like this would also
Yeah.
would be like the Last Dance.
I'm out. I'm not
times
watching
5.
it. Murph can watch for me.
I think it was 2000 Space Cowboys. Tommy Lee
missed
Tommy
that
Lee
one,
Jones,
brother.
Clint,
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones, Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland, James Garner go to the moon. Like that would be the Warriors, wouldn't it?
That's basketball bliss.
Enjoy. Have fun with that, brother.
But then, if that's not your thing, I mean, I think playing alongside Jokic would be a ton of fun, and I think that team would be a team to be reckoned with. I don't know that they have the depth.
I don't think so.
But yeah, other than that, I think the Sixers have a much more, they have a compelling enough case that you can't just write them off 8 years ago when Michael Rubin's mission to California, that was like a joke, right? You knew how that was going to turn out, that LeBron wasn't even going to go in the room with them, and LeBron was not coming to Philadelphia. But I actually think this time around there's a compelling argument, and while I'm highly doubtful that Philadelphia will end up being the right situation for him, I think it will be interesting to see.
You, as a former baseball writer, are you excited about the MLB All-Star game and all the festivities? We saw the selection show live from with Independence Hall in the background. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's what am I excited? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get real excited about the All-Star game.
No.
But I think
celebration, the sport, America, Philadelphia, Americana, baseball.
If Harper and Schwarber in the home run derby, I'll be excited about that.
Well, Schwarber's going to be in it.
Has he said that?
Yeah.
I think Schwarber committed.
He already committed before.
Bryce is keeping us on edge.
Yeah.
He's going to make a big announcement.
Yeah, I think I would be very excited for that. Yeah, I think it's going to be great to see.
I'm excited. I love when we are the center stage of something national. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be nice. I just don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to be. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think the World Cup.
I expected you as a baseball writer, I used to love the All-Star game. I used to like being in the clubhouse, seeing everybody together, kind of celebrating the game.
Yeah, I like games that mean something,
Well, in the course of 162 games, the collection of all the great players, I remember walking into a clubhouse and seeing, Griffey and Bonds and Clemens and all these guys together. I'm like, wow, it's pretty cool. Celebration of what baseball's about.
Yeah, you know what? Part of it is the All-Star break. The game's fine. I just hate that there's no baseball for 4 or 5 days, especially that Wednesday and Thursday afterwards. We were just like, oh man, I just wish there was a ball game on. Yeah. I think those are two. When you're talking about holes in the sports calendar, I think that's a great. If you sit down and think, you got the post Super Bowl, that first week without football, that feels like a dark black soul crushing hole. But
no, that's the worst. That's my.
And then
worst.
you got I would even put the preseason games in there. That's almost it's almost a reminder of what that football's not here yet. And even though I try to fool myself into watching them. You could put that in there, but then I think the All-Star that Wednesday and Thursday after the All-Star game is oh man, I just want to flick on a game, and now I got to go outside and mow
luckily
the grass.
There's a World Cup semifinal on July 15th. So I'm just saying,
you go.
you'll get a game. You'll get a game that's meaningful on the 15th.
No, I think it made July 4th.
And the 14th too.
This past because I hate that stupid hot dog eating contest, the worst. Yeah. And the fact is that we had 2 matches was a big deal.
Yeah, the Mexico England match last night was great. A great watch. I watched that one all the way through.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Yeah, I don't know what Mexico is doing down the stretch, but I also don't know much about soccer. So,
I mean, they were attack. They were in attack mode. I mean, they brought it. I mean, that was awesome. It was white knuckle.
Yeah, I thought the first half was. I thought Mexico. I mean, they had probably, 3 or 4 chances in the first half to really get a second goal, but it was more down the stretch where it just seemed like that. And I guess when you're running,
England's packing it in too. England's just trying to get the ball, clear the ball.
Well, especially being.
I was surprised they didn't have more. They didn't find a way to manufacture more scoring opportunities down the stretch. But again, I don't know anything about soccer, so.
All right, brother. Always fun.
We needed some Murphy sunshine on a day like this. He really brought it.
Always fun, buddy. We love you.
Yeah, love you guys.
Thanks, pal. See you,
Hey,
brother.
Dave.
There he is, David Murphy on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Let's take a quick TO and come right back.
And
We're
what
going
do
to
you
take some breaks. Whew, man, I'd rather talk basketball with a fire hydrant.
Oh my.
Let's talk about Dick's Sporting Goods. All right. Oh, man, from the soccer tournaments down in South Philly to baseball games happening in your own neighborhood, summer sports officially in full swing in Philadelphia. Whether you're getting ready to cheer on your favorite team or getting the kids geared up to hit the field, Dick's Sporting Goods, your one-stop shop for everything you need this season. Jerseys and fan gear to rep your teams, all the equipment, gloves, cleats, bats, balls. So Maslow loves the mouth guard, the money mouth guard for his football. And he has the sleeve, the matching sleeve. Yeah, they have all that stuff. It's unbelievable. I wish I was a kid. Oh, man, they have everything. Stop by your local Dick's Sporting Goods store anywhere around the area or shop online at dicks.com for the next big game. Whether you're heading to the stadium or just to the back fields, make your first stop Dick's Sporting Goods, because Dick's Sporting Goods has sports. It's the house of sports. You know it's officially summer when Hoagie Fest comes back to Wawa. I got to ask you, what's your Wawa order? Mine, I'm going classic Italian. I love my Wawa hoagies. Hoagie Fest is back this year, bringing even more value to the table. Right now, you get a shorty hoagie, wrap, or chicken sandwich, plus a bag of Hers chips and a small fountain drink for $6. You're extra hungry? It's only $8 for a classic meal. Whether you're grabbing lunch between meetings, fueling up before a game, or making a quick stop on a summer road trip, it's an easy, delicious meal at a great price. I love it. We stop on the way to baseball. Hoagie Fest, fuel up after, between games. Big flavor, great value, same Hoagie Fest energy we all know and love. But it's only here for a limited time, so get it while you can. Hoagie Fest is back at Wawa. Gotta have Wawa. Welcome back. Bree, hello, Bree.
What's up, Bree?
What's going on? How we doing?
I think we have some super chats. I can't find them, though.
We got the super chats.
Can you still see them, Bree?
All right, what do we got here? Read them.
All of that analytic mumbo jumbos from FitDad, $20. All that analytic mumbo jumbo just to say this is still a better trade for the Sixers than the Celtics. You don't need analytics. This is an I have eyeball situation. What are you talking about, Murph?
What are you talking about, Murph?
I agree with FitDad.
It's $20 from FitDad. Stop saying Giannis. It's
Giannis.
Freaking Giannis with a silent G. I think I said Giannis, too. I think me and Murph both did. Maybe.
No, I thought you said Giannis.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know why it bugged. I would fit that. Like, that bugged me, too. That triggered me, too.
You were triggered.
You were triggered from the get-go. Yeah, you guys came out contentious.
Well, first of all, how could you say Morey did a good job?
I saw their
roster.
Did he mean overall or just as part of this deal happening?
I don't know, dude.
Because there are reports out there that Morey had been talking to the Celtics and trying to get something in motion for this.
Whatever. Look at the roster. I was talking about the roster that Gansey fixed.
Right.
The Kyle out, the lack of players, they had nobody.
Well, the way that this all came about, and like witnessing that conversation, it was like I was trying to figure out, like, are we like giving him credit for having gotten Paul George so we could trade Paul George? Like what was the that's what it was feeling like.
Yes.
Like thank you for making. We have to give him credit for making this terrible mistake, which then we
right
turned into
the fact that he signed Paul George to that bad contract, and Paul George missed all that time due to PEDs, everything else. So thank you, Daryl Morey,
for making this trade possible.
Oh, he cracks me up, man.
He does. I mean, I love the guy. I do. I mean, gifted writer. I love him. But man, I don't like talking basketball with him. I don't.
You guys should be banned. That should be
that
a
should
ban
never
topic.
happen. I don't know what he's looking at. I just don't. Even in soccer last night, like, what do you mean Mexico? But like Mexico,
they did play a great first half. They absolutely had chances.
But at the end of the game, like England packs it in. Like, I mean, if you have any kind of sports acumen, you understand. Like, they're going to pack it in, and it's going to be hard for them to get chance.
Correct. That's especially when you're playing a man down.
Right.
You're clinging to a 1-goal
And
lead
every
and playing a man down.
And every time you get a chance, you're just going to clear.
Yeah, you clear because you want 30 to 45 seconds to come off the clock. Like that is
Right. You're just trying
This
to
is
kill.
running the clock.
Yeah.
This is give it to Saquon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically
Yes.
that was like if we're gonna translate.
Yes.
That's give it to Saquon.
Do you what kind of lasting do you think excitement happens with soccer after this thing's over?
I do think there'll be a big bump in people seeking out Premier League.
Right.
I think Premier League's going to see a huge jump. I hope
Because
MLS.
you'll know the
But MLS returns. I mean, MLS is
Right.
going back in. So, I hope that I hope people start to seek out, teams locally. There are really good. MLS is great competition. That goes back to a little bit of the European versus American. MLS is a very good league. And so I think that, hopefully that the Philadelphia Union see a huge bump and buzz about what's happening there. I think Premier League will absolutely, I think they will have one of their best seasons of with people
because you'll know the
watching,
players,
'cause
right?
You'll know the players.
Everything's about knowing the players.
And I think part of this now is that people have fallen in love with players, right? So they're going to want to follow those players.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's
Who's
the
Holland
key
play
part.
for?
I don't know who he plays for right now.
I forget because my
Yeah.
buddies
Is he in
were-
Barcelona? I think he's in Spain.
No, he's in the Premier.
No,
He is?
I don't think he's in the Premier.
Apparently,
I
everybody,
don't know.
a lot of my friends hate him. I guess he's like kind of a heel in the Premier
Oh,
League.
is he really?
I mean, you could see
I'm
that.
asking a question.
He
I don't
definitely
know.
looks. I mean, he definitely gives
I just
Vigo
love
the
him because he reminds me of
Carpathian from
football player.
Ghostbusters
Yeah.
2 vibes off.
Yeah.
Right?
I just saw a video of him in a Premier League game wasting time at the end, and his team had a corner kick. They would just tap it to him, and he just block it with his body as guys are trying to get it, and then kick it off their leg and get another corner kick. He did it like 4 times in a row.
Oh, did he really? Wow. Well, they should change that rule. You shouldn't be
I don't know how you stop it. He's so big.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you'll see a lot. I think you'll see a lot more kits. I think people you're going to see people wearing soccer jerseys around town a lot more. Not just because of this, but because there's
I can totally see that.
There's definitely some of them are really sharp.
Yeah, they're
right?
cool.
They're
Yeah.
cool, and they've got cachet, and that's a really I think that's
you
that'll
fall
be
in
a
love with the
change.
stars, right? Like I fell in love with Messi. I mean, I love Messi. You always love Messi.
Mm-hmm.
He's the coolest. He's like the GOAT. You got, Mbappe's ridiculous. All these guys are Harry Kane, to the end.
Yeah, to the end. And what's so cool about it is that they after this, which I mean, think about this. They're playing this tournament that is for national pride, all this travel, everything, and 10 days after, it's back to work.
The Premier League starts right.
Right. It's everybody's back. The soccer, the international schedule opens, and off they go. And so, I mean, you think about what that, if that energy can keep coming, especially in the U.S., I think that's going to be huge. I think tonight at Lumen Field is going to be absolutely incredible. It's like Monday Night Football vibes.
Yeah.
It's Monday Night Football, truly in Seattle, and it's gonna sound that way.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound that way.
Let's take a quick deal because I want to.
He plays for Man City.
I want to get you what your thoughts on tonight. I talked to Jarrett Mikolas, who's really good, man. He knows his stuff. He gave me a little bit of a preview. But first, let's talk about our friends. Talk about TrueMark Credit Union, something that we actually like, which is something that rewards the way you already spend your money. That's exactly what you get with the Everyday Elite Visa credit card from TrueMark Credit Union. We're talking about 4% cash back on eligible purchases, including gas, food, you want a pizza, all that stuff adds up, all right? And for a limited time, new cardholders get 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months, and then 17.99% APR after that. It's more cash back. It's less cash. Apply today at TrueMark.com or stop by any of the TrueMark Union's 24 branch locations. TrueMark Credit Union's got something for everybody. Rates based on credit worthiness, 4% cash back on eligible purchases. Bonus categories capped annually. Restrictions apply. Visit TrueMark.com for details. Insured by the NCUA. Now let's talk about Valley Forge. Sometimes you don't need a big, long, getaway to Bali. like Baldy. How about something like Montgomery County, Pennsylvania? Great getaway spot just for a couple days, man. Recharge. Got a little bit of everything. History, shopping, entertainment, outdoor adventure. Great food, all just outside the city. You spend days exploring Valley Forge National Historical Park. Hit the shops at KOP. Check out live entertainment. Explore some of the amazing small gems, right? The quaint little towns throughout Montgomery County. Maybe the inns.
The inns, that's right.
Right? Like, And with America celebrating 250 this summer, never been a better time to experience the history and stories that help shape this country. Whether it's a couples trip, family weekend, sports road trip, chance to unplug for a few days, Montgomery County makes it easy to go away without going far. Plan your trip, book your stay, start your retreat today. valleyforge.org. That's valleyforge.org. So Jared says, here's how he looked at it, right? Jared said, all right, there's a lot of noise now with off-the-field drama that's pulled us away from the sport. So let's stick with what we know. The team plays the same way we have. We may not be as explosive, given Belgium has played a few different ways. I expect we attack, but more calculated to get a read on the game. That's good knowledge.
Yeah.
First goal is huge in this game. The Belgians are experienced. Courtois at goalie is one of the best in the world. I think this is a tight 2-1 to the USA or a draw and extra time. I like our chances, all things considered, but the pressure has turned a bit up on us.
Absolutely. The pressure is now it's squarely on the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, if you're kind of preparing them, how would you approach it? Knowing that.
No, knowing that the pressure is on them. So I look at this two ways because I think that they were preparing without Balogun, right? So probably, but I also think that they recognize that this moment for the U.S. program is huge. So I'm not sure that that there's a big switch in how Pochettino is taking the approach of like coaching them into this game, right? Like this is a moment, right? Block it all out. Like if you want to take the next step, they have to win. That's it. Like if the U.S. men's national team wants to transform the way soccer in America is viewed, this is the step.
Yeah.
This is it, right? And so
you can't shy away from it.
You can't shy away from it. And in fact, I think he's probably telling them to lean into it.
Yeah, that's
right.
I love that, Meg.
That.
That's what I would do.
I think it's like embrace this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like this is the team.
This is what you want, right? Like you want to feel pressure.
The whole world is going to tune in to watch this because of all of the other stuff. You could have not cared about anything. Yeah. And there's going to be I want to see this because of all of this extracurricular drama. But at the end of the day, it's really like, this is it. Like this is the moment that U.S. soccer has been waiting for the men to have this chance. And they need to embrace the tension. They need to embrace it. They need to embrace that, and they need to just go out and really. I think they've been playing smart. I think that to the point that their explosiveness might not be the same against Belgium, but it is definitely going to be an asset because I think that they are younger and fresher from an athletic standpoint. The critical piece is going to be that goalkeeper is fantastic, and we're going to need to, and they're really going to have to be as disciplined as possible and not let their emotions get the best of them in any way, because I think that is something you could see happening.
I think you just smash them in the face. This is what we want. We're on our own soil. We got the crowd. They're the old guard, one of the old top 10 countries. We're younger. We're faster. So smash them in the face early.
Jared is 100% right. That first goal is going to mean.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Changes the
because
entire.
If the USA scores first, Belgium's going to have to press, and that's going to leave things open because we've seen USA as a counter. Like they could swarm you.
Totally.
If they get the first one, they could get 3.
Right. That's the key. They have to. I think that if you're Pochettino, that is what your focus is on, is how can we quickly, like we got to keep the crowd in it.
Yeah.
The crowd is, this is true 12, like the 12th man, of the way Seattle is set up, that stadium. They're going to be open air. It's going to be, it's going to be loud. Yeah. It's going to be rocking. And that is something, and again, that might not be something that the U.S. men's national team is accustomed to playing in. This is really the first time where they've had this type of outpouring. Look back on where they have previously trained pre-Pochettino, or where they've played matches. Columbus, Cincinnati, Minneapolis, soccer friendlies, right? That's like, right, where...
Wow, yeah.
Right, because a lot of times they don't want to put them in a stadium where they think that there's going to be, the opponent's going to outsell because it's, right, because of the diaspora, right? So so they've played in places where that, right, where you're trying to make sure that you're getting a hometown friendly. They're going into a stadium that seats 80,000 people, and my guess is that 79,900 of them are going to be rooting for the United States. Like, I think this is the hottest ticket in town. So, I mean, I say that a little bit. There's definitely going to be Belgium fans, but this is different. And so, like, this is, again, biggest stage, brightest lights. And that's why I think this is the moment that Pulisic has to be the guy. He's got to be the guy.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet last game.
Very.
When he first came back in the last of the group stages, he looked great for that 30 minutes. Yep. And he was kind of quiet, I thought.
It was definitely quiet. He's definitely playing. He's been quiet. It's been more of almost a facilitator role a little bit, but that's not who he inherently is.
Yeah.
And they need him to he needs to get them on the board.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a lot. It's
going to be great. So what do you guys, like, what's your plans for the game?
Head to FanFest. I'm going to go up.
So you'll be live at FanFest?
Yeah, we're open. Yeah. So right now, we are opening at right now 2 p.m. For the
What's
Spain,
the weather?
Portugal.
Have you, like, you're going to...
We're getting good reports from the weather that the rain has
this morning
stopped.
was nuts.
So that we're still getting emergency alerts. I'll check in, but at the moment we're still scheduled to open at 2.
That's great.
Which will be great for the Portugal-Spain match. We are, hopefully if the weather's holding, we're actually going to show in between matches the documentary about the 1994 U.S. soccer team
that's cool.
on the giant screen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which will be
That's
cool.
a great
bridge.
Yeah.
And then we'll get in the party
that's
mode.
a fun time.
And then U.S. men's national team, the lead up at, the party starts and 8:00 kick.
Wow.
Yeah, so big day at FanFest.
Or will you be at where we broadcast from? Where do you post up at?
I usually am either over in like the Orchard or kind of floating around. I mean, you kind of. This is exciting for me. This will be the first match I've been at for a U.S. men's national team.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Game up there, so I'm excited. The crowds, the videos have been incredible, so I'm psyched to see it. So I'm just hoping to get the vibe.
That's cool. Get the vibe.
That's right.
What are you doing, VG? You be at a bar or you be home?
I'll probably be at a bar. A little happy hour quizzo because they don't want Quizzo to interact with
That's
it.
good.
That's
I
I think we'll do a
yeah.
little pre-game quizzo and then
Nice.
hang out for the game.
What's your? I'll be with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you playing? Are you in sports still? Or are you able to watch?
We got basketball tonight.
Okay.
But I should be home by like right after the match starts.
Okay.
I think he's got a game at 7.
Okay. Might need to get a ride home. So, one of those. I used to be one of those, like, let's see if we can get a ride home. Anybody else's parents picking up tonight? I have appointment television.
I usually, when I'm on the bench, so I usually.
That's a tough exit during the game.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to just. Zach Wheeler's agent has made a statement, and Matt Gelb wrote a piece about it. He says, Major League Baseball knows. Everybody knows what he's been through, and to not do what you needed to do to let this guy be honored in his home ballparks are ludicrous. He's boring. He's boring. He just goes out. He does his job. He's the best pitcher in baseball the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, honestly. He goes out. He does his job, and for whatever reason, he's just seen as not marketable by the game. I don't understand it. Some of these guys we take for granted until they're done, but he's 36 years old, coming back from a surgery that you just do not come back from as an elite player. You just don't. They love a story of the new guy, and this guy, he's been consistently great for whatever reason. He just gets overlooked. and quite frankly disrespected.
How many times have I said that?
Yeah. I agree. There's a part of me as a marketer guy who says, well, maybe as the agent, maybe you could do a little to help him be seen a little more marketable. And, he owes a little culpability about it with it. But what he's saying is true.
That's true.
Who is it?
BB Abbott.
Yeah. I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah.
He should be honored. I love that dude. Love him.
Gamer.
Love him. Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Just a gamer.
Yeah. All right, it's going to do it for us. Bree and Bryn, the two great bees, filled in for Jules. Good job, Bree. She'll be doing sixes.
We do a matchup segment.
Oh, you
We
want
need to do that?
Oh, we do it today or do it tomorrow?
Yeah, we do it today. Just the matches for today we can do.
All right, let's do the matchups for today. This is our Dick's Sporting Goods bracket. We love our Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's go. Set it up there, VG.
Oh, I don't have. Let's see. What do we got the items today? We got. Where is Philly?
Yep.
Who's USA?
Where's USA.
Yeah.
Got the soccer ball for
All
USA.
right. We liked that one last time.
That moved on. That's a good looking soccer ball.
It is.
And
Belgium's
the mini ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Boo.
that. Of course they're the mini ones.
Right.
The mystery box.
You gotta go
right?
with,
Where you have to
yes.
buy them and you have to keep them.
Give me the authentic.
You want the Trianda.
Yes.
Yeah, you want the true Trianda.
Yes.
And then we got Spain, Portugal. Corresponding. Oh, they're not bad. Those Spain sunglasses. Got to protect the eyes.
I think I go to sunglasses.
Man, I do too.
Yeah, not Frostbody.
I'm not feeling the Frostbuddy Crayola.
I do this. I do the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go Spain.
Okay, there you go.
I think
Well,
that's
who's
a
gonna win, right?
correct. That's a
Spain,
correct
USA?
choice. Yes.
Spain, USA. Think about that in LA.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be an amazing
Oh, yeah,
Friday.
Samba.
Yeah. Friday.
That'd
That
be
would be
Friday?
Friday. They'll play the 10th. I think the 10th.
And that'll be what, like an 8:00 night start?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm
That'd be
not
awesome.
I'm not gonna. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think that goes to the early match.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
Friday
cool.
night.
LA.
LA.
That'd be awesome. All right. Let's hope we get it, everybody. We love you. Have a great day. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.